a key partner of Korea. With its strategic location and a rapidly growing economy, ASEAN today has become one of the most sought-after partners in the world. Based on a strong foundation of friendly relations, ASEAN and Korea have developed close partnerships in the economic, social, and cultural sectors. Now, the two regions are working together to build a community of peace and prosperity centered on its peoples. The ASEAN-Korea Center was established back in 2009 with a vision to build a lasting and genuine partnership between ASEAN and Korea. The center contributes to promoting shared prosperity between ASEAN and Korea by expanding trade and investment by facilitating cooperation in future industries. We aim to strengthen sustainable and future-oriented cooperation in culture and tourism and promote mutual understanding and respect by expanding two-way cultural exchanges between ASEAN and Korea. The center is also laying the foundations for the establishment of the future community of ASEAN and Korea by raising public awareness on the importance of ASEAN-Korea partnership and facilitating exchanges among the youth and professionals of the two regions. Based on trust and mutually beneficial partnership, ASEAN-Korea relations have made remarkable progress over the past 30 years. And by connecting the peoples and sharing prosperity, the ASEAN-Korea Center will make every effort to build a more peaceful and prosperous community of ASEAN and Korea.
If I may, I can encapsulate what the ASEAN-Korea Center is doing in one word. It's connecting. We connect people, we connect companies, and we connect countries between ASEAN and Korea in trade and investment, culture and tourism, and people-to-people exchanges. As ASEAN and Korea march together toward the future, the center will continue to strengthen our partnership in a more sustainable, future-oriented, and mutually beneficial way.
Okay, so good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to welcome everyone this morning to the opening ceremony of the seminar on Advancing Design Industry for Creative Economy Community in ASEAN and Korea. As part of the 2023 Investment and Market Research Mission, this event is co-organized by the ASEAN-Korea Center and Korea Institute of Design Promotion in cooperation with the Office of Malacca State Secretary and Malaysia Design Council. My name is Kim Go-eun, Senior Officer from the Trade and Investment Unit of the ASEAN-Korea Center, and it is my great pleasure to be your MC for this event today. We express our sincere appreciation to all the speakers, presenters, and participants today. And for the participant, please note that channel 1 of your receiver is English, and while channel 2 is Korean. Now, let us begin inviting His Excellency Kim Hae-yong, the Secretary General of the ASEAN-Korea Center, for the opening remarks. Please welcome him with a big round of applause.
Good morning. 안녕하십니까? And selamat pagi. YB Datuk Kaidira Binti Datuk Sri Abu Jaha, Deputy Executive Council, Malacca State, and distinguished guests and speakers from ASEAN and Korea. Welcome to the ASEAN Korean Center's outbound mission entitled Advancing Design Industry for Creative Economy Community in ASEAN and Korea. First and foremost, I'd like to express my utmost gratitude to Deputy Executive Council of Malacca for her presence at today's event. I believe it testifies the importance that Malacca state government places on the design industry. My appreciation also goes to Korea Institute of Design Promotion as well as Malaysia Design Council for their cooperation in organizing this event. I'd like to express my all speakers and business representatives with us today, in particular those who come from Indonesia, Philippines, and Singapore. Distinguished guests, the ASEAN-Korean Center has been conducting investment and market research missions since 2009 to explore new investment opportunities between ASEAN and Korea. The center has been seeking promising niche markets to be commercialized. Last year, the center organized ASEAN Week to showcase ASEAN marvelous fabrics, lifestyle items. We introduced the intrinsic beauty of ASEAN and produced a promotional video of the program. Within a short time, the video hits approximately more than 1 million clicks and captured great attention from media and Korean general public. To meet up with the needs, the center brought up the creative economy and design sector for this year's outbound mission. Since ASEAN is rich in culture and heritage, the center has carefully chosen the venue for this year's mission, and here you are in the historical city of Malacca, where architecture and design encompass the diverse style. They reflect traditional Malay, Chinese, Dutch, and Portuguese flavors. And the city also makes adaptive use of historic buildings into creative spaces, aligning with the principles of the creative economy. Ladies and gentlemen, we can consider culture as an industry within the broader framework of the creative economy. The UNCTAD defines creative industries as cycles of creating, producing, and distributing goods and services that use creativity as a primary input. In a rapid digitalization era, this industry has emerged with immense potential and is fueled by boundless opportunities. Particularly, the design sector is of utmost importance, constituting a major part of creative economy with potential value and development. In Korea, the total volume of industry accounts for $16 billion as of 2021, demonstrating continuous growth. As for ASEAN, it has also shown consistent growth in the past years, with the average annual growth of trade volume reaching up to 6%. Acknowledging its significance, ASEAN addressed the industry as a new engine of growth in the post-pandemic era in the ASEAN Comprehensive Recovery Framework. In this regard, ASEAN-Korea Center, in collaboration with Korea Institute of Design Promotion, organized this event, this investment market research mission in Malacca. Today, we'll explore policies and frameworks that shape the vibrant landscape of creative industries, business and design sectors. Representatives of ASEAN and Korean businesses are here because they understand the potential for collaboration and mutual growth. I'd like to encourage them to take advantage of this event to build networking and unlock possibilities together. I hope that this year's outbound mission will be truly more meaningful in the respect of connecting culture and industry, creating tangible results from intangible values. I thank you very much. Terima kasih. 감사합니다.
Thank you, His Excellency Kim Hae-young. Next, please welcome YB Datuk Kaidira binti Datuk Sri Abu Jaha, Malacca State Deputy Executive Council, for the congratulatory remarks. Please welcome her with a big round of applause.
Thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Good morning. Salam Melakaku maju jaya. Rakyat bahagia menggamit dunia. Bijak laksana tuah, berani laksana jebat. Dan salam Malaysia Madani. A good day to His Excellency Kim Hae-young, the Secretary General of ASEAN-Korea Center, and Mr. Hussaini Ismail, the Director of Malaysia Design Council, Mr. Jaibalan, Director of MIJU Melaka, all participants for Investment and Market Research Mission, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Alhamdulillah, praise be to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, for His beautiful and bountiful grace and mercy, which has given us an opportunity to gather here this morning in conjunction of seminar on design industry and creative economy in Malaysia, precisely in Malacca. First of all, on behalf of the Malacca State Government, I represent the Honorable Datuk Sri Abdul Rauf Yusof, the Chief Minister of Malacca, would like to express my sincere gratitude and appreciation on behalf of Malacca to have the opportunity to be a cooperation organization for the design industry and creative economy seminar in Malaysia together with the ASEAN-Korea Center, or AKC. I would like to convey my regards from the Honorable Chief Minister itself, and however, Datuk Sri hopes that this program will run smoothly and perfectly. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to extend a warm welcome and appreciation to His Excellency Kim Hae-young, Secretary General of ASEAN-Korea Center, and all the representatives from 5 maritime Southeast ASEAN countries, which are Malaysia in itself, Brunei, Indonesia, Philippines, and Singapore, gathering here in Malacca for Seminar on Investment and Market Research Mission. Selamat datang and welcome to my beloved historic state of Malacca, one of the UNESCO World Heritage Site. On behalf of the state government, it is my distinct honor and privilege to extend my warmest congratulations to the organizers, participants, and esteemed guests of the seminar. And we gather here today in the beautiful city of Malacca, a testament to the vibrant spirit of creativity and innovation that permeates our region. Ladies and gentlemen, following the global trend, creative industry nowadays has risen increasingly in the past decades by promoting trade in creative goods and services. Malaysia also continuously supported and fostered the growing of design and creative industries through various programs and policies that are equipped by human capital development in order to penetrate international market based on its national creative industry policy. And I was told that through the outbound mission, ASEAN-Korea Center intends to highlight the significance of the creative economy and design industry as a growth engine for the region and to strengthen the ASEAN-Korea partnership by deepening the creative economic value chain of both regions. The design industry and creative economy have become catalysts for growth, transformation, and sustainable development in this modern world currently. They have the power to shape our society, influence our culture, and drive economic progress. This seminar serves as a platform to explore the immense potential of these sectors and foster collaboration among our nations. The ASEAN-Korea Center has been instrumental in promoting cooperation and exchange between ASEAN member states and Korea, and their commitment to fostering partnership and enhancing regional connectivity has been exemplary. Through initiatives like this seminar, I believe that they have created opportunities for dialogue and knowledge sharing that transcend both and promote mutual understanding. In this regard, I hope this program will provide an opportunity to introduce the developments and new ventures in creative and design industries achieved by participating nations and to share policy experiences, thereby enhancing mutual understanding and improving relevant policies. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the state of Malacca, with its rich heritage, cultural diversity, and thriving creative community, is the perfect backdrop for this gathering. Our state government is committed to supporting and nurturing the design industry and creative economy, recognizing their significant contribution to job creation, economic growth, and the overall well-being of our citizens. This seminar brings together experts, professionals, and enthusiasts from various fields, providing a platform for meaningful discussion, idea exchange, and collaboration. It offers a unique opportunities to explore emerging trends, best practices, and innovative approaches that can propel the design industry and creative economy forward. I would like to express my deepest appreciation to the organizing committee for the meticulous efforts in putting together this remarkable event. Their dedication and hard work have ensured a comprehensive program that encompasses a wide range of topics from design thinking and innovation to entrepreneurship and sustainable development. And to all participants today, I encourage you to actively engage in discussions, share your insights, and build network that will transcend this seminar and continue to flourish in the years to come. Each one of you plays a vital role in shaping the future of our design industry and creative economy. Your contribution and collaboration will undoubtedly pave the way for a brighter and more prosperous future. Before I end it, I would like to also welcome you, every one of you, to Malacca again. I hope this is not the first or last one. Mr. Kim Hee-Yo and the rest of your team, to come to Malacca again probably next year. And I would like to welcome in advance for Malacca visit year next year. We will have loads of activities and lots of promotions to offer all of you. So I hope to see all of you back at least next year. And so in conclusion, I extend my heartfelt congratulations once again to the organizers and participants of this seminar, and may your time here in Malacca be filled with fruitful discussions, new connections, and memorable experiences. Together, let us harness the power of design and creativity to drive economic growth, foster cultural exchange, and build a more vibrant and inclusive society. Thank you, and may this seminar be an immense success. Thank you again. Sekian, wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.
Thank you. Thank you, Wabi Datu, for your warm remarks. So today's program will consist of 3 sessions. The first session covers policy frameworks and impact of the design industry for creative economy, and we'll have 5 presentations by public representatives in design sector, and followed by a roundtable discussion. In the second session, a representative from MIJU will give a presentation under the theme of investment opportunities in the design industry of Malaysia. For the third session, the last session, we will have presentations by 5 countries' delegations from business sector under the theme of case studies and outlook on design industries. And then we'll have time for the networking luncheon and B2B meeting. Without further ado, we will now begin the seminar by inviting our first speaker of session 1, Ms. Narita Nurinda Hatibi from the Ministry of Trade, Indonesia, Export Product Development Department. She will present on Indonesia's framework in supporting creative economy actors. So please join me in welcoming her to the stage with a big round of applause.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Ambassador Kim. Good morning, Ibu from the Malacca. Okay, I would like to present myself first. My name is Narita Nurinda, but everyone called me Inda because it's a nickname and it's more simple. And I'm working at the Ministry of Trade of the Republic of Indonesia. In particular in the Directorate General of National Export Development, from the Directorate of Service and Creative Product Export Development. Today, I would like to share about Indonesia's framework in supporting creative economy actors, with the highlight on how we give the design development facility for the SMEs. Okay, the first one, I would like to share about the policy of our national creative economy. Actually, creative economy is quite new in Indonesia. We define the creative economy as quoted from the Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy, that creative economy is the manifestation of intellectual property, which is value added, produced by human creativity based on cultural heritage, science, and technology. And by that, we also have this presidential decree, which define the master plan of national creative economy development for year 2018 to 2025. And as I'm working at the Ministry of Trade, we also deal with the creative economy by achieving the goals of regulating trade activities to increase the trade of creative economy-based products. Okay, next slide is about our ecosystem. So the ecosystem of creative economy consists of talent, culture, IP-based product or intellectual property products, financing, infrastructure and technology, policy and regulation, and also the market. To maintain those the creative ecosystem, we define the pentahelix of stakeholders. It's including the government itself, of course, to make the conducive business climate, to synergize all the collaboration among the stakeholders, to give the facility and incentive, also doing the mapping of regional potential and identity, and also as the decision maker. And the second one is the business itself, to boost the creative industry productivity, creativity development, to promote and to expand the market, and also give the assistance and funding. For the academics, the third stakeholders, of course, doing some research, and then preparing the creative human resource itself, and then giving the inputs to the government how to create the policy. And then the media, we need the media to spread the good news, the words about the creative economy and the information about what we are doing, and then doing the promotion, and as the interactive platform, how to raise the discussion among the stakeholders. And the last one is the community, which, they make the creative collaboration, and then they organize the activities to boost the creative sectors, and also giving the inputs to the policymaker. In Indonesia, we define 17 creative economy subsectors, in which the 3 of them are categorized as the priority for today, and the 3 others are the featured products, the featured subsectors. The priority, I just want to tell you about the priority products, the subsectors defined by our government, which are application, game development, film, animation, and video. And the 3 featured subsectors are fashion, craft, and also culinary. Okay, according to the data, these are the top 3 featured subsectors' contribution to export value in 2021, which the value is amounted to US 23.9 billion US dollars. As fashion is the top sector with 61.6% of contribution, followed by craft by 31.3%, and the last one is culinary, 6.9%. Okay, now we are going to the Ministry of Trade's scope. What do we do? Okay, to answer the challenge of how we develop our creative economy by 2022, our minister has got this ministerial regulation about restructuring the organization. Before, our Director General was working based on the function, but after 2022, now we are more focused on the how to develop the export product. So there are 3 directorates who deal with the export product development, which are the primary products, and then the manufactured products, and the last one deal with the services and creative products. It's my directorate. Okay, now the focus of our directorate, there are actually 4 subsectors from the creative economy subsectors in general. The first one I would like to share with you is the fashion. We are focusing on modest or Muslim fashion because as we all know that Indonesia is the largest Muslim population country. So we would like to show the world that we are not only the market, but we also want to be the part of the market leader itself. We already created a roadmap to promote our modest or Muslim fashion. It began from the statement in 2021 with the Embracing Jakarta Muslim Fashion Week, followed by branding activities in 2022. And then now, in 2023, we are currently expanding the networking by participating in a major fashion show and trade show in 3 big cities, which are Paris, New York, and London. And next year, hopefully, we can declare ourselves as the hub, the global hub for Muslim fashion in the world. And the second subsector is animation, comics, and games. Actually, this is the first year that we conduct this activity. We did some workshops on tech skill, digital marketing strategies, developing export plans, preparing and participating in international trade show for the players, of course. And we also participate in exhibition, whether domestic or international. And then the third one is culinary. we do some collaboration with related business association in Indonesia in order to open more Indonesian food or restaurant chain overseas. And then we also have business matching and financing. And the fourth one is actually the highlight for today's discussion is about the design development for SMEs, especially in the craft subsector. We are conducting a program called Designers Dispatch Services, or DDS, in order to help the SMEs to develop or build their new products by assigning a product designer, especially in craft subsectors, in small furniture and home decoration. And this program, DDS, is activated in 3 intensive stages. After one full set of new or developed products are completed, these SMEs will test the market via international trade fairs, domestic and overseas. And in 2023, this year, DDS is doing a collaboration with a program titled Local Business Export Coaching, or we call it LBEC, which is consisting of 6 stakeholders related to the sector. Ministry of Trade, Ministry of Industry, Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy, the CBI, the Netherlands, Indonesian Furniture and Craft Industry Association, and the National Craft Council of Indonesia. Okay, and what do we give to the SMEs in LBEC? During the program, we give the SMEs the workshops, many workshops about export marketing plan, so they can do the internal analysis, how to define their identity, their style, their segment, or their USP, and also how to conduct the external analysis about trends, requirement, demand. We also share the information or the knowledge about product market combination from the SWOT analysis, and also how to create the action plan. And the second one, we also give them the market orientation mission workshop, including the trade structure, the market access, the market trends and segment, and also about the identity. And we also give them the market intelligence workshop, because we think that market intelligence is also important for the company. So they have to know how to apply the market intelligence to their business, how to use the market analysis in trend, demand, requirements, channels, the players, the segments, etc. And we also teach them how to do the effective trade fair participation, because as we know that sometimes the SMEs, they don't know how to prepare themselves to enter the exhibition. So we have to teach them how to prepare themselves to be ready in the trade fair. And then after that, we invited them to try the first market entry in our own trade fair called Trade Expo Indonesia in 2022. Actually, there are 19 companies from 34 companies that are selected. They are chosen as the participants, because before they can enter the market entry, they have to submit some assignments. So only 19 companies that passed the assignment. And then after that, we also gave them the product range development workshop. And later we will take them to the next market entry. And to designers, we also gave the designers the workshop about the LBEC overview itself, and also about the identity and market segment, because we want our designers to aware about the identity and the market segment of the companies. Okay, next slide is a glimpse of our LBEC companies. These pictures shows the participation of our ALBEC companies in the trade fair. So how they show the products in order to attract the attention from the buyers. So they have to know about their identity, about their culture, about their USP, and the value of their products. Next is our participants for this year's DDS and ALBEC. We have 13 designers. They are very young and talented. They collaborate with the 26 companies that are curated, very selective, to follow the program in this year. Okay. The DDS 2023 is ongoing. So the phase 1 is already, we already did the phase 1 in which the designers are digging detailed information about the company, which are identity, target market, segments, products need to be developed, etc. And then the phase 2 will be going on June or until August, in which the companies start to produce the mock-up. And then phase 3, or the last stage of the DDS, is finalizing the mock-up and also the quality control. In 2024, after the product development is finalized, we will bring the SMEs of DDS ALBEC to test the market. The first one via Indonesia International Furniture Expo in March 2024. And then we want to take them also to the Maison et Objets in Paris, September 2024. We also invite the collaboration among the Indonesian trade representatives and other institutions overseas to take the SMEs to test the product in the Inspired Home Show in Chicago, the Las Vegas Market, Index Dubai, Canadian Furniture Show, and Messe Frankfurt Ambiente. Okay, another program that I would like to share to you how we assist the SMEs in need of design development is via IDDC or Indonesia Design Development Center. IDDC is a design development center focusing on giving a design consultancy not only for the SMEs, but also for the designers and academics in order to create export orientation products with added value and competitiveness. We have main program in IDDC, which is Design Clinic. So in Design Clinic, we have giving the SMEs in need the consultation service, of course, free. In area of visual communication design, in product design, in packaging design, and also in design management. In IDDC, we have this facility. As we saw yesterday in Majelis Reka Bentuk Malaysia with Mr. Husseini, we have the similar facility with the MRM, which is a photo studio for products, and also the design development equipment with the 3D printer, 3D scanner, CNC, and laser cutting. We also have the co-working space that can be used for the public, by the public. And also we have a meeting room, so it can accommodate like 30 people and can be used for seminar, discussion, etc. And also we also have a design library, which is equipped with the reference book collection, namely graphic design, product design, packaging, marketing, etc. And the last one is display area. So the area is showcasing the products of SMEs that are developed by our program, DDS, and also Design Clinic. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Ms. Narita, on your presentation about the Indonesia's national creative economy policy and its ecosystem, including cooperation among stakeholders. The speakers, please be note that please try to keep your presentation within 10 minutes. That would be very appreciated. And you can use the clicker if you want. So the clicker is on the stage. And we will now welcome the second presenter, Ms. Nara, Senior Manager of Global Business Division, Korea Institute of Design Promotion, KIDP, and she will present on design industry of South Korea. So yeah, she's here, and then please begin your presentation.
Good morning, my name is Nara, and I am the Senior Manager of the Global Business Division at the Korea Institute of Design Promotion. Thank you. I would like to first begin by thanking His Excellency Mr. Kim Hye-yong, Secretary General of the ASEAN-Korea Center, for providing this opportunity to introduce the design industry of South Korea, our institute, KIDP, as well as the 5 design companies that we have selected. So my presentation is divided into 3 parts. I have a brief introduction of what our institute is about, what the design industry of South Korea is like, and the various activities that are initiated and promoted by the Korean government as well as KIDP to promote the design industry. KIDP is a nonprofit organization that is affiliated to the Ministry of Trade, Industry, and Energy. We were established in 1970 with the sole purpose to promote the Korean design industry in Korea as well as internationally, and to use good design to raise the quality of life of the everyday of Koreans. I will explain more in details about what we do later in the later part of my presentation. Since our establishment in 1970, we have launched and promoted various activities and projects throughout the years. And this is just some of the major projects that we are currently doing. And in 2020, we celebrated our 50th anniversary. So KIDP, we're not located in Seoul, but we're located in the outskirts of Seoul, which is about 20 to 30 minutes away from the heart of our capital. We have a research center which is dedicated in doing R&D projects, which in Yangsan, the southern part of Korea. And we also have 7 innovative centers around the country. These innovative centers are strategically located within industrial complexes so that we can help manufacturing companies to adapt design in their workspace, to their products and their services. And we also have 2 overseas offices in China. Why we have it only in China is because we believe that China is one of the biggest markets where we can have our design agencies export their design services to the various manufacturing companies in China. We opened our first Chinese office in Beijing in 2013 and have expanded to opening our second one in Shunde, Guangzhou in 2019. And these 2 offices function as hubs for Korean design agencies that wish to enter the Chinese market. Prior to presenting the various activities that are organized by KIDP, I would like to briefly introduce to you what the South Korean design industry is like at the moment. So each year, KIDP conducts a consensus service of the design industry so that we can see where the industry is at and if to make sure that the policies and the different programs and projects that we implement are right on track. And what you will be seeing are from the most recent consensus that were published in March this year. The most important statistics for us is how much design is used within the entire industry. So one of our goals is to have more companies utilize design within their work and their services. So this is one factor that we are consistently checking on. And as of 2020, the number of companies that have adapted design to their work, it was 151,477. But if you can see, this is only 18.7% of all the companies that are registered in Korea. But as you can see in this slide, the size of the industry has steadily increased over the past years. As you can see, the size of the design industry in 2021 is estimated to be 21.6 trillion Korean won, which estimates to about 17 billion US dollars. And the majority of this revenue comes from companies that are utilizing design with 13.35 trillion Korean won, and design agencies that contributed with 6.82 trillion Korean won. While the amount that the companies utilizing design have invested shows just a slight increase from 2020, you can see here that the revenue that the design agencies have earned through their design services have increased dramatically. Also, another factor that we are consistently checking on is the design export and import. In 2021, design export was estimated to be 79.9 billion won, which is about 61 million US dollars. And the import of design services and products is about 13.9 billion won, or 10.6 million US dollars. And this graph shows how the design import and export has changed over the years. Export of design services and products were on a decrease until 2020, when the COVID pandemic struck us. And in that year, we saw a dramatic increase in design export. And according to the analysis that we made, this was because during the pandemic, e-commerce became a big issue. And as the e-commerce started to grow, this gradually led to an increase of design products that were being exported. On the other hand, as you can see, import of design products and services have steadily kept its pace. The economic value of the Korean industry is estimated to be 159.7 trillion won, or 122 billion US dollars. So this is just a short summary of what the design industry looks like in South Korea. And I'll go into details about the activities that are promoted by both the Korean government and KIDP to better the design industry of Korea. So these are just some of the major activities that we do, and we also do other activities year by year. The most important activity that we put emphasis on is the developing of design policies and strategies. We work hand in hand with the Ministry of Trade, Industry, and Energy to develop national plans, or every 5 years. So we call these the 5-year design plans. And our next design plan is to be announced later this year. We are currently making final touches to it. The key to developing these 5-year plans is to look into what the current status of the design industry is like, which is why we conduct the consensus each year. And prior to announcing the policies, we do conferences and seminars. We also do gatherings with different design stakeholders to make sure that the policy is on spot and can actually be adapted into the industry itself. Another thing that we do is we also help with the development of design with SMEs around. So what we do is similar to what Indonesia is doing. We have a part where we match designers with SMEs that are in need of design, and we help them to better their design products. And you can see that below, these are just some of the products that, examples and case studies that were done through this product. We also do export support promotions, where we help Korean design agencies or companies that have design products to design brochures or do like SNS campaigns through using design. We also support the design industry with, as you saw previously, through our design innovation centers. So these are strategically located within the industrial complexes. So manufacturing companies can come in to do design consultations, but we also have, as you can see here, we have an SMF, CMF library where they can come to see how different colors, materials, or finishings can be adapted to their products. Also, we have awards and exhibitions to promote good design throughout Korea as well as internationally. And one of the biggest events that we have is called Design Korea. So this is like an exhibition / conference of everything that we do to promote design. So you'll be able to see designers that were selected, various different design products that were certified by the government, and also we have B2B meetings and conferences for companies. Another interesting new project that we have is through service design. We are actually working with factories to help them make a safer working environment. So we're doing like design for safety. So as you can see here, before there's various hazardous areas within factories that where the employees can easily be injured. And what we're trying to do is to make visuals and graphics and infograms to show like how dangerous this part is and what to be cautious about. Another thing we have is this is also part of our policy plan, is that we work with the actual Koreans that in various sectors to come up with where we need to better our design policies, what needs to be adapted, and everything else. We also do overseas marketing for our company. So this is one of the trips, overseas marketing campaigns that we're doing. We do exhibitions at various different exhibitions, such as the Maison Objet. We also take part in exhibitions and fairs in China. And we also do mission dispatch. This year we'll be dispatching missions not only to Malaysia, but we also am thinking of doing something in Indonesia and China as well. And just to briefly introduce what our overseas offices are doing. So our Beijing office is the headquarters in China, and we're located in 7150 Park, which is the design cluster in Beijing. And what they do is we're trying to help Korean design agencies that are trying to export their design services to China. And we act as a hub where we do fairs where manufacturing companies can meet with design agencies of Korea to see if they can work together to come up with better products or better services. We also do legal design consultations, so that whenever there's a conflict with intellectual properties, that this can be dissolved without having to go to court. And I think this is going to be the last slide. We're working with the different ASEAN countries, and we have the ASEAN Design Sharing Council meeting each year. And this year, it will be sponsored by the Philippines. This was first initiated in 2009, and since then we have been meeting annually to share what each of the countries have been doing with their design industry, and to see if there's any way that we can work together and collaborate with each other. Design education and training, I'll just briefly go over this because this isn't something that you would be interested in because it's more business, but we do education of designers. We have multidisciplinary design curriculums that we work with different colleges, undergraduate schools, and graduate schools, and we also do have a professional designers workshop. And we also have internships for students that wish to work abroad. And currently, based on just the MOUs that we have concluded, we are currently working with about 100 organizations in 35 different countries. And this ends my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. for your presentation on Korea's initiatives and international cooperation effort among the stakeholders and capacity building programs especially. Our third presenter now is Mr. Hussaini bin Ismail from Malaysia Design Council, MRM, and will present on success strategies of SMEs in the creative sector in Malaysia. Please give him to the stage a big round of applause. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Mr. Kim Hye-yong, Secretary General of AKC, yang berbahagia Datuk Khaidirah Abu Zahar, and all participants for today. I'm Hussaini Ismail from Malaysia Design Council. I'm here today to talk to you about design industry for creative economy in Malaysia. So let me introduce to you Malaysia Design Council as basically was established an agency to coordinate and lead design activity to promote good design and to boost Malaysia-made products competitiveness in the local and international market. Non-profit agency MRM is under the supervision of the Ministry of Investment, Trade and Industry, MITI, and Sirim Berhad is an appointed secretariat to MRM. It is regarded as a think tank and advisor to evolve innovative design among Malaysians and to ensure that we are on par with international standards. Additionally, MRM also provides activities and programs to support the local company from various industries in elevating design, including programs such as Design Certification, MGDA, Certified Industrial Designer, CIDE, Design Standard, Product Development, Design Information Database, Training Education Program, Design Awareness, and Promotion. Go to the slide. The term creative industry was coined in the UK in the late 1990s, which is a subset of the creative economy, and it is composed with 9 areas: visual arts, cultural art, traditional art and craft, performing arts, audiovisual, new media, services, design and publishing. It is defined as those industries which have their origin and individual creativity, skill and talent, and which have potential to wealth and job creation through the generation and exploitation of intellectual property. In 2019, the design economy contributed 97.4 billion in gross value added in the UK economy. It's equivalent of 4.9% of total UK GVA. But in Malaysia, creative industry started in 1991 when Vision 2020 was announced by the 4th Prime Minister of Malaysia. It's cover visual arts, traditional and culture arts, literature, performing arts, music, fashion, content creation, culinary arts, creative education. However, the design industry is not fully involved in the initiative due to the subjective concept of creative economy that's still being shaped. The creative industry in Malaysia contributed 1.9% of 29.4 billion to the gross domestic product by 2019. The Malaysia government has provided several initiatives to advance this industry. Among them, Creative Multimedia Content Initiative under MSc program is such as access funding, market access, strategic alliances, talent development, digital media, And National Key Economic Area, NKEA, create content infrastructure to increase GDP by 1 billion, 10,000 job creation, and 45% of export. So National Creative Industry Policy, which is under Creative Multimedia Industry Policy, Cultural Art Industry Policy, and Heritage Industry Policy. This National Creative Industry Task Force chaired by Ministry of Communication and Multimedia and co-chaired by Ministry of Tourism, Art and Culture. Task Force comprises of stakeholders from the government, industry and civil society. Aims is to develop Malaysian creative industry ecosystem holistically, benchmark against international standard. This is the overview of our achievement of a creative economy in the 2017 to 2019. The government initiative to strengthening the ecosystem of the arts and culture and creative industry has given a good impact. More than 370 organizations has been received support and 11,800 jobs created, especially in the city beyond Klang Valley, and engaged more than 350,000 people and more than 1,800 industry players upskills supported more than 239 art activities. In terms of financial assistance, 12% for visual arts, 12% independent music, and 76% of performing arts. In terms of loan to company, the biggest portion of the loan goes to content creation, which is 43%, fashion 23%, and the rest is 3% to 9% to the others. There is demand for export to the international market. Creative design is a process that uses digital and physical image making tools to create renders and representation used for marketing purposes. In Malaysia, companies require creative design for ideation, development, marketing, and rollout related to product and services. Although the importance of design was highlighted in recognized, industrial design was not being promoted and encouraged in Malaysia. Industry as much as information in communication technology and oil and gas. Hence, the perception of industrial design providing profit to a company has slowly disappeared, although it still exists with minimal contribution. That is because the local companies are not aware or do not understand the importance of value of industrial design. And this issue causes companies in Malaysia do not give much attention to design, which contribute to the lack of investment. Thus, it is significant for business manager to provide it with a coherent understanding of the value with the needed convincing through qualitative evidence to invest their company resource of time and money. And currently, MRM is put an initiative to empower the field of design through several programs such as design recognition, Malaysia Good Design Award, talent development, design awareness, and design consultancy. It covers areas such as industrial design, architectural design, fashion and apparel design, product design, interior design, and graphic design. Creative economic related to activities in Malaysia are led by activities related to creative economy in Malaysia by two ministries as follows. Creative industry is under Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, which consists of 10 agencies. And design industry is under Ministry of Investment, Trade and Industry, which is consists of 13 agencies, including Malaysia Design Council. The importance of design is shown as in the picture now. What would happen if the existing chair with 4 legs was changed to 3 legs without taking into account the design elements, right? So whether it will gain place in the market, whether it will have a good or bad impact to the consumer. Yeah? This will show the importance of the design into product development. Design is not just what it looks like and feels like. Design is actually how it works. It is Steve Jobs' quote. UK is already started the realize and accept that they need to redesign due to their serious trade deficit by James Dyson. Is a UK prominent designer. And by January 2009, Karim Rashid, which is a US prominent designer, published the document on redesign America's futures for the US economic competitiveness and democratic government. Design is a thinking and managing change. It is about doing things different. So let's go straight to the important point that I would like to share. This is another program that MRM or Malaysia Design Council conducted, which is Malaysia Good Design Award. It is to ensure the growth and the success of Malaysia industry. Yeah, this is an annual program. This is the application for every year is let's say about.
Hussaini, we have like 1 minute, so thank you.
Okay, all right. I will skip most of my slide. We go straight to. This is a LIPI award for MRM, Malaysia Design Council. Design is a powerful tool to transform the economy. The understanding of design Malaysia is currently limited. It is now crucial to take design seriously. There is their need for a national design policy that identifies. So MRM or Malaysia need to change. One is to place design innovation as one of the drivers that can directly and materially contribute a great economic growth to the Malaysia economy. Currently, most of our industry are at the status as OEM, own equipment manufacturing. But we are encouraged the industry to be ODM, own design manufacturer, so that we can have our own brand. That is where design and innovation involve. Secondly, to place design innovation as one of the drivers that can directly and materially contribute great economic growth to the Malaysian economy. Innovation will be from many ways. It could be visual arts, performing arts, and etc. So, government intervention to promote a design as the important agenda for Malaysia. Design to be declared officially to the public by the government. This is another thing that MRM should look into. And then to have design vision for design to be declared officially to the public. To to place MRM as the independent government organization or non-profit government company that leads and champions good practice in design innovation. Currently, MRM is an agency under a Ministry of Trade. We are planning to be a GLC, a government-linked company in the future, so that we are independent from the government agency. MRM to be given bigger budget and mandate to expand its role for greater effectiveness. So currently our budget is very crucial. So we have to do more program or project to be effective. To create a funding scheme under MRM for young emerging designers to start their own business, and to create a mentorship program where established designer can assist in nurturing young designers in Malaysia. These are a few programs that we have been conducted with Korea before. Designers exchange program, whereby Malaysia send a few designers to Korea, and Korea send a few designers to Malaysia to conduct a few programs. To create a design incubation center for young creative talent, and this we are in the progress in the MRM now. And to initiate university to have synergistic design initiative with industry in key industry where we are lacking, for example, like automotive and e-furniture and etc. And to facilitate and encourage the placement for local designers in the international arena. And to implement promotion and priority given to Malaysia designer and manufacturer. That's why on our program, Malaysia Good Design Award, we prioritize to the company that use a local talent. And to place creation of a series of world-class Malaysia design initiative to become an internationally renowned annual event. And to encourage the Malaysian manufacturing and services industry to use local designer. And lastly, the establishment of International Design Leadership Center. By the year 2023, Malaysia must establish balanced and sustainable knowledge economy with the design and innovation culture being its critical and central part. So with that, I end my presentation today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hussaini, for your presentation. Our next presenter is Mr. Kenneth Ray Bunas, Design Center of the Philippines. Mr. Kenneth will present on making design count. Please join us on the stage. And please kindly remind to keep your time for 10 minutes. The staff may show you the signboard. Thank you.
Hi everyone, good morning. Morning. All right, so I developed a deck that's kind of light. I mean, I'm data scientist by background, but I know this is this is still a design conference, so I tried to approach it in more like conversational way. So again, I'm Kenneth Bunas from the Design Center of the Philippines, and thank you very much to the ASEAN-Korea Center for inviting us to at least present our work about making design count in our upcoming national design policy, and how these initiatives could help us build a design-driven nation. All right, so for the past 50 years, the Design Center of the Philippines as an institution has always been committed in terms of its pursuit to really ensuring that design would play a more creative, innovative, and strategic role in terms of driving positive development. And one of the challenges that we have asked ourselves along this journey is that how could we really make design count in an archipelagic country like the Philippines with over 7,640 islands and 115 million Filipinos, and also countless wicked problems. And a country like the Philippines is similar to others. We are an archipelagic country with, I would say, a very rich design tradition. However, our broader interpretation or appreciation for design is not yet fully realized. I would say still underappreciated, but it's on its way in terms of recognizing design's full potential. So just a trip, just a trip down on my memory lane. So again, I was a practicing data scientist before I joined Design Center. And I was really looking at before on design at the tip of an iceberg. So, but two stories have actually unintentionally enabled me to see design differently. First one was actually the gift of Prometheus, the gift of fire to the humanity, which actually transformed civilization and really fueled progress in terms of agriculture, commerce, economy, and even in the quality of life. And the second story would be about the Renaissance, which is actually one of my favorite subjects way back in grade school, which really provided a lesson of how this age sets itself apart by having a crystal clear ambition and confidence on the capacity of the human creative spirit, true imagination, and intelligence to rise from the dark ages. And both of these stories have one thing in common. They have a clear vision and strong conviction on what the power of human creative potential can achieve when harnessed as a force for good in shaping a better world. And this has been the case with the nations through ages. So on the next slide, you will see that global studies and evaluations of design across the globe and nations who have leverage on design strategically, making it a central pillar of their economic and national development, has shown that by integrating design at the core of nations, it has actually made notable contributions in terms of exports, economic growth, unlocking competitive advantages in various sectors, and even in addressing social challenges. So this leads us to recognizing that design's interpretation and potential is much broader than what we think of. Design is a human-centric and solution-based industry encompassing, thanks to our colleagues from the Design Singapore Council for developing this framework. We are very familiar with the design in the context of objects, place, image making, but perhaps we might be less familiar with a broader interpretation of design in the context of complex problem solving, service innovation, user-centered policies, and its strategic use to boost the growth of sectors. But as the purpose of design discipline evolves, so does the complex intersectional challenges that we actually face today. And we find ourselves currently, according to the United Nations report, that we are in a race against time, really to strive for a future that is prosperous, sustainable, equitable, and prosperous. Okay, so nations are actually embarking on this journey of really trying to reimagine their approaches and how they could develop a strategy that is really ensuring or providing the highest quality of life and empowering future generations to thrive amidst rapid social challenges such as meeting economic and development goals, the dangers of AI, and even in the rewilding and the climate emergency. So all in all, the key message was actually that in this time of age, design, and even before, has always served as a catalyst for change, really enabling us to understand and leverage current circumstances to our advantage. But how can design's broader potential be recognized on a national scale? So while earlier I have presented numerous promising cases for about or demonstrating the transformative power of design, we must also emphasize that the significance of policies and mappings need to prioritize also the value of local context. We need to have policies and mappings that are inclusive, actionable, and offer strategic solutions that are suitable and reflective of a nation's unique landscape. So just imagine how design, for example, in the Philippines, could offer real opportunities. This is something that has been included in our campaigns when we launched Design Counts. Imagine how design could, for example, inspire the creation of original ideas to the next generation. How design could play a more critical role in terms of making better decisions in their local areas, such as for housing, climate action, disaster recovery, and community development. How design could be an integral part of businesses and really help them reach new international markets. how design could be better integrated in governance. Like, for example, having a dedicated department in the Philippine government that has a design team and looks at design or policy development on a more user-centered way. And imagine if design was a force for change, empowering communities, businesses, and government to make better, greener, and future-focused decisions. And all this imagine if statements was actually one of the inspirations that we have for our sector as we spearhead the first national design policy. So, the Making Design Count is actually our recent project that was launched before. The goal of this is really to evidence and map the value of design. We work with the British Council. We work with the PDR in Nordic City in the UK, and also the Bayan Academy in the Philippines to map and evidence the value of design. And this aims to really support or inform the targeted policy actions that we would be creating for our first national design policy. So I'll just quick run through the numbers in terms of what we have discovered. But prior to that, what I wanted to emphasize during this journey is how Design Counts has really ensured that the methodology of us to capture this data is dynamic, and that design counts really turn patterns of exclusion into participation. From capturing how design contributes value not to design industry alone, but also on other industries, how we also look at design as an ecosystem, and how both quantitative and qualitative data has really supported the development of our first national design policy. So I'll just run through the numbers. So design has generated over 1.2 trillion pesos in terms of GVA. That's equivalent to $21 billion in dollars. And it has supported over 705,000 jobs. So making it really a force for social and economic development in the Philippines. And we have also tried to at least visualize to help our stakeholders understand how design delivers. That the PH design economy was also globally competitive, progressing towards the position also of the European design economies. And on a local level, what we have found out is that the value that the design sector generates is closely comparable to the professional and business services, as well as the real estate. And it has surpassed the value of transportation, information and communication, and those that are in the accommodation and food services. So, aside from looking at the economic numbers, we also look at the profile of those that are contributing to design, including people in organizations. So apart from the economic numbers, we also discovered that design is focused more on image making and object making in the Philippines, and that design support are usually concentrated to the metro. And then it is dynamic, it is young, it is scalable. However, there is so much work that needs to be done for the Philippine design industry. It is vulnerable, it could be more inclusive, more future conscious, and most importantly, it has untapped global potential. So what's interesting about our work in the mapping is that we don't just look about the numbers, but we look at design as an ecosystem. To really look at these 5 components as an important contributor of a flourishing design landscape and a policy. From promotional awareness to the education, support and funding, public sector and policy, and even the design sector. So just a quick run through about the challenges facing the Philippines design ecosystem. There is a need for us to really strengthen or develop our own national design identity, and even strategic promotion campaigns are lacking to advocate the strategic value of design, and how design has been or seems to be invisible in terms of funding programs in the Philippines to allow more businesses to integrate design in their business. There's also a need to further improve design curriculum and design literacy at all levels, and really position the discussion of design more on the public problem-solving area. And then in terms of the design sector, we need to, how could we ensure that as the design discipline evolves, the design sector adapts and evolves alongside with it? What programs could we further develop to enhance the quality of design expertise and create demand for design? And most importantly, there is a need for design or to really enhance the design understanding among public officials and its application in policy domains and even in the policy-making process. So by providing an economic footprint and ecosystem mapping for design, this has actually informed our 10 strategic design policy recommendations envisioned to enhance the use of design and the design landscape of the Philippines. So we look at it on a macro view, categorized according to the ecosystem concerns, and identified at least the small number of high impact and high priority actions together with our stakeholders. So just a quick run through. In terms of design awareness, we have recommendations about the need for a national design campaign and regional design hubs to better connect MSMEs to designers. In terms of business, we have the design-led industry development and design vouchers, which offers businesses to use design for the first time. And then in terms of skills development, that will be the future skills framework and the design competitions for students. So we really want to change the perception about design education, that it is a viable career and that skills itself contributes to the economy. And then in terms of the design sector, we are about to launch this year our Design Thinking Academy in the Philippines and programs related to design for diversity. And also, what will be launched this year would be our first policy lab. So this aims to integrate design as part of training among policymakers and a Designing Future Society campaign. So that was fast. Okay, so in terms of stories and the story of Philippines and its journey towards the first national design policy, our work was actually first presented last year at the World Design Capital and the World Design Policy Conference, and this has actually gained global attention. So we are actually the sole participant from Asia to represent to the World Policy Conference, and we actually receive really, I would say, enormous appreciation from the crowd, because we thought that Europe has always been advanced than those that are in Asia or especially in the Philippines. But what really struck me the most is the recognition from the World Design Organization president itself, saying that developments such as this, or the journey of the Philippines, are precisely what we are here for, to explore and move forward. The implementation of design policy, nation by nation, region by region, and that it has been an amazing opportunity for us to at least share what we have learned, especially for other nations from different parts of the world to learn from our journey of how we are making design count and how we are leading towards the first national design policy. So despite the differences of nations having different ways of how we support, embrace, or celebrate design, what have always linked us in terms of design is that the design stories. And it makes us, a one design archipelago, helping us usher in design-led renaissance where there is a renewed appreciation about the value of design, a sense of community and shared purpose, a culture of experimentation, human and environment-centeredness, sense of pride and identity. I think that's critical. And lastly, that would be the job opportunities and economic growth. So basically, the future promise of design, based on what we have learned leading the first national design policy, is that the promise of design does not lie in developing solutions alone or solely in one part of the globe and then exporting it to other nations. Instead, the next promise of design would always be coming or emerging from various parts of the world, and that includes ASEAN region, embracing diverse perspectives and solutions. So this is actually my second time to be in Malaysia, but I just visited here to speak for the World Arts and Culture Summit, just for an overnight stay, and then I went back to the Philippines. And I met actually a Malaysian. I was nervous at the time. I was 20, I believe. And then she just mentioned a quote that has always inspired us, or me, in terms of leading the mapping and the policy in the Philippines. She said, "Each individual has a critical role to play in the ecosystem." So what drives a nation that is design-led? It is always the ecosystem. So the ecosystem has always been the nerve center of design-led nations, or those that are about to be design-led. And I think that the single greatest factor that could influence of how a nation that is driven by design could thrive would always be dependent about the programs that allows us to support and nurture the ecosystems to really empower them to exercise their rights, to use and maximize design, and thus the ability of a design-led nation at this time to thrive and survive would always be dependent to the ecosystem that wants it to survive and thrive too. So the design innovation ecosystem has always been the core and nerve center of design-led nations. No policies, no design-led nation without the design ecosystem. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kenneth, for your presentation from the view of data scientists and from the view of broad human-centric from the Renaissance and to the next generation. Next, we'll have a presentation from Mr. Jack Yao from Design Singapore Council, and he will present on developing the Singapore design industry. So yeah, here's your floor.
Hi, good morning, Your Excellency and our special guests and everyone in the room. I'm Jax from Design Singapore Council. First and foremost, I want to thank AKC, KITP and MRM for this opportunity here to share what we do at the Design Singapore Council. The theme for this morning is a bit more specific. It's about strengthening the competitiveness of Singapore design firms. Design, as you know, I've heard already the past 4 presentation, is one sliver of the entire creative economy and creative industries. But as Design Singapore, we focus on design while we work together with our sister agencies in the arts, in the media, in the heritage board, in the other areas of creative industries. So the next slide will show what we as Design Singapore is focused on. Thank you. So this is our vision. What I want to draw attention to is in the vision, there's a twofold outcomes that we look at. One is economic. It is more innovation driven as the economy. The other one is actually being lovable by design. Lovable is also equally important for us in Design Singapore because we think design has the ability to enhance emotional engagement and we will build community resilience as well. So it is not all just about dollar and cents, but that is important, but this is also the softer part of design. Next. So I think like KIDP mentioned, they're guided by a 5-year plan. Singapore is guided by a 10-year master plan. The last time we did it was in 2015, and it goes all the way to 2025. We are in the midst of starting our next 10-year master plan for 2035, Design 2035. And we're probably engaging number of participants here as well in terms of giving input to that master plan. In that 2025 master plan, there were 5 strategic thrusts. One is really about infusing design into a national skill set. So we think design is not just in the hands of designers, but actually design needs to be familiarized and build awareness in the rest of the community and residents and citizens as well. And we start young. We do not just catch them at the university level, but we catch them even at the primary school, at the secondary school, in terms of how they could use design to make a difference. The second one, which is about expanding the role of design in businesses and government. This is a very important piece, but it will be a very long story to talk about that. So this morning, I'm going to focus on the third point, which is strengthening the competitiveness of design firms and what we do in order to allow our Singapore design firms to flourish. The fourth strategic thrust here is about bringing design into the community. This is also related to part about creating awareness within Singapore itself. And the last one is a little bit more outward facing. Is how do we develop a Singapore brand that is recognizable, that people can resonate, I suppose, what we stand for. That is quite important in terms of how we want to see ourselves as Singapore, as well as how the rest of the world see ourselves. And that piece is related to the third point on how we strengthen the competitiveness of our design firms. Next slide, please. Thank you. So there's a number of things that we do for our design firms in terms of how we could help them develop skill sets and capabilities. First one, driving internationalization, enhancing productivity, fostering innovation, accelerating business development, jobs and skills as well as awards and recognition. Again, there's a whole lot of things that we do here, but I want to focus on those in the red box, which is really about market access with internationalization, as well as what we would like to push the agenda in terms of getting our design firms to be more exploratory and more experimental. And the last one is really about the whole government support and not just Design Singapore for our design firms. Next slide. So in terms of market access, what we have just started recently is really about not just getting them out there to trade platforms per se, but really preparing them in order to be able to access and be able to connect to the network in those trade platforms. This is what we call our business design program, which is essentially connecting a selected pool of Singapore designers that has got good potential to actually in-market consultants that knows the market very well. So the next slide, we actually show some of the in-market consultants that we have engaged. In the various different market region, from US, Europe, South Asia, Japan, and China. And these are people that we have kind of selected and recognized that they're able to bring the external network to our designers, and as well as be able to help them position the product and position the selling point in those markets itself, which is very important before you actually get into the market and be able to build credibility. So this is a very extended program beyond just a one-off showing, but really about capability building. The next one, well, obviously after you build everything and you know the market and you want to access the market, you need to find a platform to go in. So one of the things that we try to avoid, well not avoid, but we wanted to complement, besides going to trade platform, is really having a stand alone point of view in terms of what Singapore design means. And the last one we did, and also the first one that started after COVID, is at the Milan Design Week. We presented Future Impact. We wanted the rest of the world to kind of recognize Singapore design in the area of more future-oriented in terms of using new technologies, in terms of being more sustainable in the designing of products, designing of furniture, and what we stand for as Singapore. Besides the more, I suppose, point of view approach, there's also the lifestyle approach. We actually did a couple of pop-ups in Paris as well. Well, Paris being the fashion capital, I think it's a little bit more fashion related in terms of what we stand for, but also about arrangement and decoration that goes along with it. It's really about selling a lifestyle. That's for Paris. Next. This one I want to talk about the earlier part about driving experimentation and innovation for our design firms. I think this is especially important, especially when things are changing so fast, right? There's so many complex issues within society as well as global, and the whole need to deal with sustainable development. In this program that we launched right in the middle of COVID, actually that was a point of inflection for many Singapore designers. And it picked up so much attention that we actually get about more than 60 over applications every call that we make half a year. I would just play this video to give you a sense of what we're looking for and what the designers are looking at. So we'll just start again with the sound.
We realized that Singapore cuts down a tremendous amount of trees every day. We started realizing that waste is a big issue, and a lot of the things in Singapore are really not eco-friendly.
She gave this to me actually. She said, Claudia, can you design this to look like a shawl? I don't like it when people ask me, what happened to your head? I started to rethink how I can construct it differently.
When COVID first started, a lot of our events actually got cancelled. When that happened, we need to change our strategy.
Once human activity comes to a standstill, we realize that how clear the skies are. I think the whole world was suddenly very conscious about the environment.
I think the difficulty of trying to tackle mental health and well-being is that the issue is so invisible.
Design research has really given us this opportunity for us to really see how we can intensify the local wood. You just make the wood stronger and more stable.
What we have over here is the modular arm sling that prevents it from dropping out. And that's the key difference here, is that it's going to be easier for everyone. You're going to save time. You don't necessarily have to experience a disability.
The idea of magical moment is really to create this shared moment between the kids and the parents, and how we wanted to have this deep and memorable connection between them. You can actually recycle paper into many fibers, so there's no waste. It becomes weatherproof and it's also termite proof.
We could really take a step back and look at to improve the experience of someone getting mental well-being and wellness support. What are some of the things that we haven't tried before?
Well, that's a program that we're running. I think we're running quite strong, and we got committed funds to run it all the way to 2025. Hopefully, we'll get more interesting products out of it. Next slide. So these are some of the impact areas we're looking at. Building sustainable systems and processes, strengthening identities and culture, as well as using emerging technologies, not just digital, but also materials innovation. Next. So I mentioned earlier on, while we are focused on design, we know that design doesn't exist in a vacuum. It works with a whole ecosystem, a whole value chain. We have other agencies that we work with that looks at how do we get manufacturers to transform using design, how do we get retailers to improve their experience, their customer experience through design in order to be more competitive in the market. There is also a general scheme from other agencies that look at a more scaling in terms of internationally that is providing support in the broader sense, while we are a little bit more targeted. I think that kind of wraps up what I have to say this morning. I hope it's within 10 minutes. But the last one, which I want to do a pitch at some time, is Singapore Design Week coming up in September. This is, we launched it the first time around after COVID last year, and this is the second year we're running it. There will be a myriad of activities, starting with one of our key feature events, which is Design Future Symposium. There will also be a trade fair, Design Fair Asia, and there will be several district activation during the period of September to October. So if you are in the region and you could drop by to Singapore, we'd be happy to host you there. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Ya, for your presentation and for the valuable insight and initiatives of Singapore. Now we will have the 10-minute break, coffee break, before we start the session 2. Due to the time constraint, please understand that we will proceed discussion later during the networking luncheon and B2B meeting. So please note that the coffee and other refreshment are prepared outside of the hall, and we'll begin the session 2 at 11 p.m. So if you have any questions for the presentation, please ask during the break and networking luncheon. Thank you. We'll be back at 11 a.m. After 10-minute break. Thank you.
Hi everyone, very good morning. His Excellency, Mr. Kim Hae-hong, Secretary General ASEAN-Korean Center, and his organizing team from Asian-Korean Center, and state official, Malacca, and all the delegates from the ASEAN country. Welcome to Malacca. My name is J. Balan Harirajan. I'm the director of MIJU Malacca. My job is to promote investment and also facilitate all the investment and also investors, basically to Malacca, right? So, more relatively, I think today's my sharing is basically more on the government facilitation and also support for the industry, basically in manufacturing and services sector, and design industry is a part of the manufacturing and also some selective services sector, right? So I will just introduce my organization. Okay, MIJU at glance, all right. We are a very old organization under Ministry of Investment, Trade and Industry, which is it established in 1967, I think 56 years of establishment. Our core activity is to promote investment to the Malaysia. And last year, I think last 2 years, our approved investment for the year 2021 and 2022 is MIJU have contributed about 64.4% of approved investment. In total, only MIJU we have contributed to the country GDP is about 392.8 billion. In various approved investment for these past 2 years is about 574 billion. So basically, you can see what is MIJU have done to shape the industrial landscape in Malaysia from in 1960s, where our country is basically from the import substitutions and export-oriented, labor-intensive, and we move forward to the resource-based and heavy industry, technology incentive, services economy, innovative ETP and high income, and now in 2020s, we are looking forward for digital economic, industry 4.0, e-commerce, ESG, and also in the design industry as well. So we are truly international. We have many offices globally to promote our investment and trade. And what is our role is we are an agency to advise on terms of policy advocacy and promoting foreign direct investment and domestic direct investment. And we are the principal agency to approve for the licensing or for manufacturing, investment incentive, custom duty exemptions, and expatriate posts. So the government has given us the task and responsibility that all the manufacturing activity which is done in Malaysia, the license will be obtained from the MIJU, right? Then a part of that, we also looking at the monitoring the project implementation, where when the investors are already decide to invest in Malaysia or especially in Malacca, we will make sure the project implementation is done well and without any hesitation. So a part of that, we are also providing a business facilitation in terms of talent needs, local sourcing, local engineering support, adoption of Industry 4.0 technology collaboration, funding needs, e-services portal, and post-investment issues. So a part of investment, we also provide some facilitation to our investors who are intend or already invest in Malaysia. So the investors have choice where they have few steps that they can go in when they want to invest in Malaysia. There are few steps. They can start with representative office or regional office, or they can go have sales office or services center. Then they also can think how they can start with global trading center, where they plan to conduct a procurement, a distribution, trade activities to support their supply chain. A part of that, the investor also can consider for principal hub or operational headquarters for their operation to manage, control, and support the key function of the operation. Then they also can choose to have a production facility, R&D center, competence center, center of excellence, digital investment, and tourism and logistics, green tech, and healthcare. So what is the investment strategy? So our investment strategy is focused on industry, where currently is electric vehicles, green technology, digital economy, and our focus area is basically more on automakers, EV main component. For the green technology, we are looking at green products, electrical vehicles, green energy, waste management, green building, and green certification. And digital economy, we are looking at tech enablers and digital infrastructure. For the domestic focus, we are looking at partnering with MNCs, JLC, and LLC to drive the new growth area. And we also like to collaborate with the financial institutions to fund the approved project and facilitating the development of new industrial park and priming homegrown players for the global reach for cross-border investment. So the opportunity in the new growth areas like manufacturing, electrical and electronics, machinery and metal technology, life sciences and medical technology, chemical and advanced materials. So if you look at machinery and metal technology, they are the activities that like semiconductors, electrical vehicles, robotics, and agriculture. So basically what I'm trying to say is that the design industry for this manufacturing sector in Malaysia is very huge and large. So there's a lot of opportunity that the local companies or even MNCs can gain from buying, following the manufacturing sectors in Malaysia. Then a part of that other activities, you can look here, the transport technology, building technology, lifestyles, circular bioeconomy, food technology, and resource-based industry. For the service sector, we are looking at business services and regional operation, healthcare, hospitality, oil and gas, maritime, logistic, advanced technology and research development, green technology. Then for the investment incentive, so this is the pillar, one of the imperative or gist for the investor why they choose Malaysia as their investment destination. So this incentive which is provided by the government to the investors, they can enjoy the incentive for 20 to 25 years. So if you are, have intention to invest in Malaysia, especially in Malacca, we will facilitate that you can enjoy this incentive, right? From the pioneer status, investment tax allowance, then another reinvestment allowance for your expansions, and we're also looking at customized package incentive for our investor. So basically, this is our investment performance for the various economy sector from 2014 to Q1 2023. If you look at the black box here in 2021, we achieved about 309.4 billion during the COVID, and the subsequent year we achieved 264.6 billion after the the pre-COVID. Okay, the chart here showing that the 10 years, the investment trend for Malaysia, which is our investment is very moderate. Only in 2021, it spiked like a hockey stick, and and back to normal. And these are the major quality projects that we secure in 2021. Intel, which have invested 30 billion. Porsche, they have started their CKD operation in Malaysia. Mercedes-Benz, AT&S, Microsoft, and Kia. In 2022, a few more good projects also, already implemented in Malaysia, like Amazon Web Services, Ferrotech, Samsung SDI, Insulate, and also ByteDance. TikTok, they want to have their data center here in Malaysia. So these are the top 10 investors in Malaysia: Netherlands, Singapore, US, followed by Japan, China, Germany, Korea, Taiwan, Austria, and Hong Kong. So they are here with us for many years. I think most of the Singapore, US, or Japan, or Netherlands was with us almost 50 to 60 years in this industry. So basically, the big chunk of the investment was implemented is in electrical and electronic sector, followed by petroleum, chemical and chemical products, and etc. These are the prominent foreign manufacturing companies. Is still with us. Over 5,000 companies from more than 50 countries are with us in Malaysia. Why Malaysia? Why you have to choose Malaysia? The uniqueness of our value proposition. If you look at our strong economic fundamental, where our GDP is very moderate. In year 2022, last year we achieved 8.7%. Our inflation rate is also under control, and our unemployment rate is not more than 5%. Last year is just about 3.6%, and our international reserve is about 140.6 billion US dollar. A part of that, we have strategically located in 2 hours within the ASEAN country, 4 hours within the Asian countries, and 8 hours from the Europe's countries. So we are strategically located and very convenient for the investors to travel around to export and import their products and services. A part of that, we are business-friendly investment policy where the equity ownership can be owned 100% by the foreigners. Repatriation of income can be repatriated 100% to your home country. And we give some flexibility in terms of employment for the expatriate. Yeah? And Malaysia have a very strong IP protection where the law are very conformant with the international standard, and we do sign IGA, Investment Guarantee Agreement, with more than 60 countries. Yeah? We have a very good advanced ecosystems. In the case point of semiconductor, we have R&D, IC design. We are very strong on this IC design, wafer fabrication, assembly, test, and EMS. And we have a lot of collaboration between the foreign companies, locals, talent, and also enablers. A part of that, we also strong in engineering supporting industry and talented human capital. If you look at here, Malaysia ranks 28 in the world talent ranking. Yeah, and annual graduates for talent is about more than 180,000. And we have many local universities and also international university in Malaysia. Malaysia is the gateway to ASEAN and beyond. If you look at the trade agreement that we have signed 16 free trade agreement, which is ease to do business in terms of export and import your services or product to these countries, with a market population about 4.0 billion population, and ASEAN is the 3rd largest market in the world with 662 million people, behind only China and India, and already zero tariff for 99% of the products and attracts 11% of the global FDI. So we have also signed a regional comprehensive economic partnership where with the other ASEAN FTA partners like China, South Korea, Japan, Australia, and New Zealand, which is make more ease of doing business with these countries. And Okay, and also we have also signed an agreement with comprehensive and progressive agreement for the Trans-Pacific Partnership, CPTPP with a new market, Canada, Mexico, Peru, and Chile. So what I'm trying to say is that the potential of this trade agreement that basically for the investors or companies can make use and utilize whatever that Malaysia, we have signed a few trade agreements with the other countries. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jaivaldan. As we are here in Malaysia, thank you for your presentation, for your agency's initiatives and effort for the investment. And now we will proceed to session 3. Finally, in the third session, case studies and outlook on design industries. Each business participant from 5 countries will give presentations, and for each presenter, 5 minutes will be given for the presentation. So I'm excited personally and look forward to hearing from our business participants and SMEs, especially because I'm personally design hunter, buying only good design products. And first, we would like to invite the presenters from Indonesia. Firstly, Dao Langka Bersama and Pijakbumi International. So please welcome Dao Langka Bersama first with a big round of applause to the stage.
Just give me a minute to prepare the products and presentation. So good afternoon. My name is Atma. I'm founder and CEO of PT Daur Langka Bersama, or we can call as a Pable. So next slide. So this is the problem that we have actually. So textile waste or made from the fashion industry, also one of the most polluted industry in the world, that cause a massive pollution in soil, water, air, and our biodiversity. And in Indonesia itself, the potential of textile waste that we can make in 2030 is 3.5 million tons. Next slide. This is also the problems that created why we have that numbers. So based on our discussion with the several partners and clients, we found that minimum 80 tons of off-cut waste generated from the garment manufacturer in Indonesia. And we also created minimum 20% of clothing waste that produced every month by corporation and also governments. And we believe that the way and the one and only solution, the cheapest solution, the easiest solution they choose is by burning or ending up all the waste in our landfill. So it's also destroy all the, it also caused by our, accelerate the pace of our planet climate crisis as well. Next slide. So what we are doing here, the fact about is the reason why we create Pable. So our stakeholder, we believe that they need also a sustainable solution, sustainable option. They are looking for some relevant, real, and impactful result. So we identify how waste is generated from each category and connect the missing dots to create the solution to create together. So we established in 2020, we focus only for the pre-consumer and post-consumer textile waste. We sorted each of the materials and also the colors, and we are able to making into recycled yarn and weave back into fabrics. So that's also our reason why we collaborate with our weavers community in Desa Karangrejo or Karangrejo village in East Java. So we produce each of the waste that we have to cut it into several pieces, and then we have some of methods how to mix and create it into back into yarn. And we also created the recycled fabrics, or we call PEPTEX, and we also created the integrated services that we call PEPMove. So we are circular is also, sorry, next slide. So we are circular is a campaign entity that brings together partners and communities to be part of the solution to the climate change. As you can see that this is our ESG report. So we already recycle more than 50 tons, and we can save more than 670 million liters of water. And there's also our community in village. We're working with more than 13 weavers at this time. Next slide. So this is our situation in our village. So we were working with the weavers, and we created the PEPTEX to increase their economic scale and also social impacts. And the fabrics that we use, the fabric that we produce in Indonesia, we don't do any coloring process. So the color from for each products or each fabrics is originally made from the colors of the waste that we collect. Next slide. This is the example of the design and products that we produce, collaboration with some of our partners and colleagues. And one of the shoes that I also wear at this time, made by our beloved friends and colleague, Pijakbumi, will be represented after me. And also we have a very interesting project last year. We rewind a room in the Kemang Hotel, because we also joined with the ICAD, Indonesian Contemporary Art and Design, and we replace all the virgin materials, all the virgin fabrics using our fabrics. Next slide. And this is the way how we created our services. We target the corporation, big garments, and brands who wants to join to create the impact together. So we divided into two programs. The first one is waste management, which is related with the pre-consumer waste and also drop-off programs. And by last year, we can be recycled like more than 11 tons from Faithful the Brands, which is the Australian brand that produced their clothing in Bali. And by with our Dropbox program, we also collected more than 12 tons by last year. And at this time, we have our Dropbox in 4 different cities in Indonesia, and we targeted like we collect for more than 15 tons. And for the second program is we call Uniform Disposal Program. So actually we already have like several clients. Bank BCA is the biggest bank in Indonesia. And also we collaborate with Cargill and recycle more than 2.5K pieces of uniform. It takes around or equivalent with more than 1 tons actually. And by end of this year, we will recycle more than 6 tons, which is equivalent with the 15K plus pieces of uniforms. And as the process, as you can see on the below picture, that's the process that we created. Actually, this is also the fabrics that made from 100% of Bank BCA uniforms. We can use it and we can weaving back into fabrics, and they use it as their uniforms. Next slide. So this is our portfolio for doing our services. We have our latest collaboration with Cargill and also Pertamina, which is all the BOD and BOC using our PEPTEX as their wardrobe for 2022 annual report. And for the other picture with the BOD and BOC from Bank BCA, they're using this fabric to represent their circular economy process. Next slide. And this is also the collaboration partner that we have so far. We're not only working with the companies, but we're also working with the young designers, brands, and some of them also one of my friends. Next slide. Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation about the waste management and recycled fabric in terms of the sustainable design industry. Next, our next presenter will be from the Pijakbumi International. So please be on the stage, and the floor is yours. Thank you.
Hi, good morning everyone. My name is Roland Aswales. I'm here on behalf of PT Pijakbumi International. So basically, we are a footwear company from Bandung, Indonesia. And it started with very personal story. Like 10 years ago, I met with shoe craftsmanship in my neighborhood in Bandung. They create a beautiful shoes for a famous celebrity at the time. But they live in very poor living condition. Like they eat, they sleep, they play with their kids in the small dark room with the shoes, with the unpleasant smell of the chemical, and everything else you can find on the shoes on the workshop. And running this company, we found a lot of facts that some of the most problem that we are facing right now in the shoes industry that we can find in the market right now, they are made from mixed materials, which mean that the mixed materials is harder to decompose, and some of the materials need 1,000 years to decompose in the landfill. So that's why Pijakbumi exists. We have different approach. 7 years, we consistently bringing sustainable footwear and giving impact to our neighborhood. And our products, right here, yeah, you can see here, it's basically made from recycled materials and plant-based materials. And we have distribute the product, we are distributing the products not only in Indonesia, but we have continuously shipping to Japan and Switzerland as well. Yes. Our goals, the Pijakbumi vision right now is to be the Earth's most responsible footwear company that values design. So we have 3 main areas that we are focusing right now, is sustainable design, sustainable materials, and circularity. So through this approach, we believe in small steps matter approach, we can reach our goals and giving impact to the society and the environment. So right now, we're working on an initiative, it's called modular design. As you can see in the screen, that the products, or this initiative, this innovation, can help us to bring sustainability and amplify our impact. The first one, we can transition from mixed materials to single material use, so it can be decomposed easily. Second one, we can manage our end of life. So the used footwear can be replaced, can be repaired, can be disassembly easily, so it can be repaired and recycled back to the environment. And not only that, we also can promote, we can increase the productivity. So from our calculation, we can create 4 times faster in assembly process, and we can promote decentralized manufacturing. So we can engage with more small workshop anywhere, and we can create impact together and giving directly improve their living wages as well. So to create good shoes need investment, and right now, through this moment, we are looking for strategic partnership who can help us to amplify our impact and our business, not only in product development, but also in internationalization, and through these three main areas that we will be approached, we can create a bigger impact together. And I believe after this, we can have a great cooperation, collaboration, and we can create meaningful conversation as well. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you for your presentation on the sustainable design for the impact for the community. And our next presenters are from Korea. So the order will be the DSP Corporation Limited, Ideas, IONPOLIS Corporation Limited, MIJU, and ORND. So please welcome DSP Corporation Limited first to the stage for the presentation. Please come to the stage and welcome her with a big round of applause.
주방 생활용품 브랜드 베르녹스의 임서빈 디자이너라고 합니다. 지금부터 발표 진행해 볼 수 있도록 하겠습니다. 네, 일단 목차로는 회사 소개부터 이제 브랜드인 베르녹스의 제품 소개, 그리고 유통되고 있는 채널, 저희가 진행했던 해외 전시 이력과 함께 그리고 목표 말씀드리고 발표 마치도록 하겠습니다. 주식회사 DSP는 금속 표면 처리 및 코팅 전문 업체로 현대 기아자동차, 그리고 LG전자, 포스코, 티센크루프 엘리베이터 등 글로벌 기업들과 협업하여 신소재를 개발하고 저희가 자체 생산하는 코팅 금속 소재를 유통하고 있습니다. DSP가 보유하고 있는 PVD 코팅과 NCC 코팅에 대해서 설명해 드리도록 하겠습니다. PVD 코팅이란 티타늄이라는 금속 입자를 금속 표면에 입혀서 내구성이나 내식성 등 기능성을 강화시키는 코팅 기술이고요. 그리고 NCC 코팅의 경우에는 나노세라믹 입자를 금속 표면에 입혀서 항균성과 광택도를 향상시키는 코팅 기술력입니다. 본 기술을 실현시키기 위해 여기 보이시는 이미지와 같이 다양한 기계 설비와 공장 부지를 보유하고 있습니다. 앞서 말씀드린 코팅 기술,
which I have mentioned previously. So based on the coating technology, we have gotten a lot of various patents in the certificate in Korea. So such as various certificates, such as small and medium-sized material parts and also equipment companies, global small and medium-sized companies, and also the promising design innovation companies. So based on the coating technology that I've mentioned earlier, we'll meet it. So our DSP, which we have increased in the number of the. So in the case of Korea, we found out that we have formed about 14 billion in the 2013, and the market size of 14,000 billion dollar in the worldwide. So as a result, we have launched the Vernox, which we have started to come up with the tray, table material, mirror, and etc. That since 2020, we are releasing the new product every year. So all the products that we produce contain the stainless steel, which is the PVD and NCC coating. And among them, I can tell you we are gonna focus more on the stainless steel table mat. The metal table mat, it's very unique that it is not easily found. So it is different from the cloth or silicone table mats. It is not easily contaminated and has the advantage of being easy to manage. You can just use it dishwasher to wash off. And also we have certified that it has an antibacterial and hygienic. So after developing a new product, Vernox, we are actually going through the crowdfunding platform, which is to verify its marketability. In the case of the table mat, we were able to successfully finish the braiding with 25,000 rays. In addition to that, thanks to the proven marketability, it has entered Kakao Marketers and also the Market Curly, which is a powerful sales channel in Korea. So recording to the sales more than 30,000 per month, which is equivalent to 40 million won. So we were able to receive the offer from the Korean department stores with the continuous of good result in the online platform. And we are now having the various offline stores as well. For the Vernox kitchen utensils, it's not only popular in Korea, but it is also popular in the crowdfunding Indigo in the US market, and also the Japan has recorded a good bundling rates. So based on the result, we have also entered Canada and Amazon in the US, and we are exporting the items. Furthermore, after the pandemic, we are continuously joining the exhibition in the overseas. So you can see in the 2022, we have participated in Las Vegas AST exhibition and also Japan Tokyo's gift show and Germany's ambient home living exhibition in 2023. And this month, we will be participating in the Sydney, Australia and Global exhibition. So as a result of the exhibition, our stainless steel mats are being used in Good Beverage Center of the Marine Bay Hotel in Singapore and also are exported to US, Germany, Japan, and market. Our DSP, we are looking and aiming for a buyer, and I would like to introduce the product in Malaysia throughout this good design market development. If you have any question regarding our company or product, please ask me after this presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your presentation.
네, 프레젠테이션 다시 한번 감사를 드립니다. 테이블 매트에 대해서 발표해 주셨는데요. 네, DSP에서 발표해 주셨습니다. 한국 두 번째 회사를 보시면 되겠습니다. 아이디어스가 되겠는데요. 앞으로 나오셔서 발표 진행해 주시기 바랍니다. 네, 시작되시는 대로 바로 시작해 주시면 되겠습니다.
Good morning, everyone. Nice to meet you. I am Song Kyung-jung from IREAS from Korea, and thank you for giving us an opportunity to present our company's vision and product, and an opportunity for looking for cooperative partners for future. 작은 아이디어에서 시작되는 이상적인 변화라고 하는 것이
From the develop idea products, so which means the EDS. So how we develop and come up with the product in the EDS. So EDS does not just overlook the inconvenience that we have notified in trivialized in our living. So we have planned and developed an idea product that we can solve our inconvenience in daily life. So this is our vision and our aim to come up with a product. So a lot of people, many people read it as ideas. However, it started with a small idea. However, it come out with a ideal product. So therefore, we read it as ideas. So we have actually just started. We are a new company. We have just started in 2022, June. However, we have worked very hard And there were many opportunities given by us, which is very thankful, and now we are growing in the market. So first of all, we have got selected as a good design and able to apply the patent one in the design tree. And also got selected as a design startup in Design Korea 2020. Thankfully, we have gotten the Seoul Award in 2020 December as well. So we have launched our first product in Wadis, so we've got the funding. And nowadays, you can able to find our product in the online platforms such as 오늘의 집. And we have also selected as a global premium living goods in the design. So I'll show you a quick video of our product. I think there is a little issue. Just give her a little bit minute. Maybe I'll show you next time. Apologize on that. So I would like to tell you why we have come up with a product called Squeezer. It is because in the over the world, we are having the increased number of one or two people in the household. And people are actually wanting to have the various types of dishes. However, we have a lot of leftover food. So not to waste the food. So in Korea, we have over the world, there are many meal kit products. So what do you think we always see in the meal kit product? Yes, that's correct. It's a sauce. And there is always one thing that's very inconvenient. Even in Korea, China, or Japan, they have a specialized quart which is contain all the meal kit and or the sauce. But as you can see, even have the squeezer for the toothpaste or the cat snacks. But there is nothing that is the usage of this product. So you can see, this is a member from BTS, which is Jungkook. So we know that there is a need from the consumer where they can squeeze the sauce easily. So we have come out and developed with a product to come up with a nice design and also the convenience usage of the product. So first of all, we have done a lot of tests that how to squeeze out the sauce easily. And secondly, it's easily to squeezing out. And thirdly, because it is a cooking material, so we wanted to keep it as a very hygiene issue. So there are a lot of prototype and multiple testing that we have come out until we have come up with this final product called Squeezer. So this is the squeezer, which you can squeeze out the sauce neatly without putting a lot of effort on your hand. So it's a two-in-one product where you can squeeze out the big size of sauce and also the small size of the sauce. And also we have done the aluminum anodizing, which is hygiene. And we have also let user to easily use by using the ergonomic design, which is the movement of the hand in the daily life that we usually use. And also lastly, of course, we are focused in the design, which is to come out as on one object, not only squeezing out the sauce, but we can also use it in the office or when we go for a picnic. And as an outcome, we have obtained a lot of patents and also the design awards. So we have first issued our product to crowdfunding through the What Is platform. So the reason why we have come up with this funding is because we wanted to see what was the response and feedback from the consumer, and therefore we will be able to expand our market. So as a result, we have shown the consumer giving the 8,076% of the consumer rate. And also you can see we have recorded as a top 3 record. Not only that, we have a lot of requests of this export to other countries such as Japan, so we are also planning for the export in this year. So at first, we have come up with the anodizing. However, we have a lot of requests from the housewives, so we have come up with a new product which is called, and will be launching in this August this year. So we are planning to export to Japan and China this year, and not only that, I would like to cooperate with the countries in ASEAN countries throughout this platform. The procedure whereby we were having the trouble in the squeezing out the sauce, but I hope this squeezer help out in the ease of this squeezing out the sauce. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ideas, for your presentation. Yeah, not ideas, but ideas. Yeah, please remember ideas. And then I want that schedule in my office and at my kitchen. So yeah, later after this seminar, I'm gonna buy it through our neighbor service. And also our third presenter from Korea will be IONPOLIS Corporation Limited. So please be on the stage and welcome. And the floor is yours. Thank you.
네, 안녕하십니까.
Hello everyone. I am Choi San-deok, team lead from the IONPOLIS. I'd like to thank for Korean Design Institute and also the Korean ASEAN and also the government from the Malaysian government, which have held such a good chance and opportunity for today's seminar. So we are the specialized manufacturing of the shower head. And therefore, we'll be able to use a higher living standard also by having the good quality of water by using the filter. We have established in our company in 2016 January, not long history. So my boss is a developer and also have obtained a lot of know-how by approaching to the overseas market and also studying how we can come up with a filter of the shower head and have finally established a company. So now you can see our profit. Although our timeline is not really long, but as you can see, we have reached out a quite sufficient amount of the profit. This is because people are focusing not only in the drinking water, but they are also focusing the quality of the water when they take shower. Previously, when there were not a lot of supplier who is focusing on the taking shower filter, and there are some issue in Korea with the shower water, the quality of the shower water, and therefore we have increased a lot of sales during this period of time. However, in 2019, we have encountered the pandemic, and we can't deny that this has actually encountered us into difficulties in the export. As you can see from the first in the diagram, I will just show you the actual product of this filter shower head. As you can see, this small shower head, but it has a lot of functions. As you can see, there is a filter in both head and the body part. Although the building is very new, however, there will be substances in the water that contains. Even in the European, America, Asian countries, even a lot of investment or the governments are investing in it, it is not easy to fix this issue to ensure we have the clean and high quality of water. So we have input dual filter in both shower head and also the shower body. So we have focused into by having a lot of investigation to fix this chlorine removal and also the antibacterial application, especially the kitchenware. We use our dish, and we also eat the food throughout this. So there are some of the chlorine. So far, this might be something that we didn't know. But we have to think about how it will affect our human body by time goes by. So as you can see, the first one is a filter shower head, and the second one that is a water filter system that we use in the kitchen, and for the water filter that's used in the basin, and also types of the functional filter in this body. You can refer to a product called water filter. So this is a high filter which is in the water filter that we drink for the drinking water. So we will first go through and chlorine and also the sediment filter and also the vitamin C and chlorine removal filter. So there are multiple functionality on that. So it also have the gargle function, which is come up with the oral irrigator and also the hydrogen water tumbler. And last but not least, also the alkaline water ionizer. As you can see, it is the cert that used in the internationally, so such as CE, KC, ISO 9001. But in practically, not only focusing on the eco-friendly cert, but we also have gotten the certificate for the Great Product of the World from the Atopy Association. Not only here, but we have gotten multiple different types of patents or certificate, and we have proven, and we are proud to say that it is very proud to say that we have a high quality of the product, which is certified and recognized by different government organizations as well. So we are currently exporting to different countries in the worldwide. We have Spain, Turkey, France, Germany, and not only that, UAE, America, Canada, Mexico, and also the Southeast Asia and Asian countries, Japan, China, and etc. All the listed countries that you can see in the presentation slide. For this slide, we are specialized in OEM and ODM. All the products that are ODM and distribute in the Korea. These listed companies are all the companies that we work as a partner. Not only that, we are also cooperating together with Samsung and Eon Cares and etc. So in 2016, we have officially established IONPOLIS. And as you can see, the ISO 9001. But not only that, last year I would like to emphasize, and we have gotten socially recognized award. And we are targeting on the social acts and also to work out with the government. And our CEO is very much focused on this point. And so now I will just skip quickly on this slide. So as I have mentioned earlier, so it is having the 7th stage of filtering and finally giving us the high and clean water. So first of all, they are cleaning by using the sediment filter, and also the removing of the chlorine and antibacterial bowl. And there is a fabric that called carbon fabric filter, which it remove the odor from the water. So at the end, it's filtering by the 7th stage, which is you will be usable for 2 months as an average, and you can just replace it. As you can see on the right diagram, it's not indicating it is hot, but it is automatically changing the color depending on the temperature of the water. So when the water has a low temperature, it will show blue, and with the higher temperature, it will show it as a red color. And it is to prevent people to get burned or not to get surprised when the water temperature is too low. So we'll be able to see evidence of the temperature of the water before we touch the water itself. Among the multiple design, consumer can choose based on their needs. So we have multiple types of the filter design. And filter can be exchanged, and even the young kid can change easily. So it is what I would like to emphasize is we have contained the vitamin and also the aroma glycerin that's helpful for our skin. So it will moisture and also smoothen your skin, and especially for the European and also the Southeast Asian country. After using the water in the hotel itself, actually, with the mirror and also the basin, you can see is a white mark that has a chlorine. So it is to filter out this chlorine, and we'll be able to use the clean water at the end. And this is easily seen in the European country. So this is a huge amount of filter which are just directly attached into the shower filter. And it's come up with a very reasonable price. You can be used for 6 months. And the price of the product we can supply at very reasonable price. So for the both sediment filter and the vitamin filter, you can see how it looks inside. I'm not sure if you can see well in the diagram. So the outer part is covered with a sediment filter. So it is to ensure that there are no other substances that goes into the filter. So for further product description, you can also access to our website. And we are also looking for a buyer with a very good condition. This is possible because from the design, production are all done internally. Therefore, we are able to offer a good price and the opportunities to the buyer. And lastly, I'd like to say so we have gotten into the B2B, B2C, which is the all government sponsor program. And we were able to check the needs of these clients and also the companies. So I would like to ensure the functionality design, and we have invested a lot in the product itself. So not only Malaysia, Vietnam, and we have also studied a lot of the issues that we can see from the water. So I would say, IONPOLIS, we are ready, and thank you very much.
감사합니다. Thank you, IONPOLIS, for your passion for your product. And our last speaker from the Korea will be the all-round. So the representative, MIJU. I'm sorry, the first presenter from Korea will be MIJU. So the presenter from MIJU, please come to the stage and start your presentation when you are ready. Thank you.
Hello, hi everyone. I am Park Yang-shin from MIJU. So I now start with our presentation today. So we are a fashion brand called MIJU. So now we are focusing much more on the Luni and McCoy. So we are focusing on the three different factors. And we have invested a lot in design R&D. And we are very well known for very unique design. And we have 10 years of experience of the in-house sizing. So we are targeting more on the 30 to 50s women's fashion size. And we are also focusing on the young casual brand. We have first established in the year of 2013, which have been 10 years in the market. So as you can see, this is a company overview. The most important factor in this is that we have our own design R&D lab. Not only that, but brand division and both online division. We have our internal designer and our CEO. She herself is a designer, so she has very specialized in the women wear. So this is our growth history. We have been continuously increased in Korea. As you can see, before the COVID, which is prior to 2019, you can see our graduate growth. However, in 2019, overall market was very unstable, so we can see the profit have decreased, and that's where we started to target more on the online platform. So last year, we have gotten back the profit that we have gained in 2019. So we are continuously growing at the moment. So basically, we were focusing more on the Korean domestic market. Until last year, we have 71 stores, but now we have 75 stores at the current stage. And we start to target and aim to enter into more of the international market. And as our company, we have gotten a lot of certification and award. So for last year, which is 2022, we have selected as a proud female venture professional, which is recognized as an excellent female entrepreneur. And this is a very significant record for us. So we are a company very focusing much on the design. So we have our own design lab. And more than 20% of our employees are formed as a designer with the more than 15 years of the experience. So we have our own ERP system. So based on that, we are able to grow continuously. And we have very effective supply chain management, which is high inventory turnover rate. So the designer also work as our MD. So we are target to maximize and to have the low inventory rate. So this is our actual outlet that we have in Korea. So you can just refer to the presentation slide. So we are also targeting both online and offline. So we have our own website and also the Naver, which is one of the biggest platform searching engine in Korea. So targeting both online and offline as our marketing strategy. So going forward, not only focusing on the women clothing, but we are also targeting to launch the golf wear and also the eco-friendly product. For the first two, we have already launched and available in the market. But the last one, for the eco-friendly brand, we are having the plan of launching soon. So you can see we are expanding a lot of categories. So for the eco-friendly brand, which we are planning to come up with a brand name called Jiden, we have already registered this product. So for this product, I'm sure that you guys know that it is very hot issue with the vegan leather. So very beautiful cities in Jeju. So we are using the tangerine peel to come up with a vegan leather bag. So we are targeting to have the R&D company, which is using the natural and also the vegan leather. So for this Jiden, which is using the tangerine peel, we are in the come-out. But for the other bag, which is using the cactus, it is available in the overseas market. And not only that, our paper bag for the packaging, we are also using the eco-friendly design. And at the back of this stage, we have also bring our actual sample, and it is available in this seminar room. And if there is any other questions I would like to know, just approach to me anytime, and I'll be happy to assist you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Your presentation from MIJU. I'm also using the vegan leather wallet right now, and then we have also Indonesia partner about the eco-friendly fabric. So maybe you can have discussion later. And then our last presenter from Korea will be around finally. So please come to the stage and then proceed your presentation when you are ready. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am the CEO of this ORND. My name is Jongwon Park. So we are producing the individual safety product. We are designing and also produce them. And our team is formed with that 4. We have 2 design and 1 in charge of the marketing and also the branding. Our company, the personal mobility helmets and research, and that's how we come up with our company. So it is a foldable helmet. Our first sample is coming out at the end of this year. So it is a foldable helmet, which is relatively easy to carry as by folding the helmet compared to other helmets that's available in the market, which is hygiene, light, and very comfortable. So when we come up with this in the midst of researching this, we have also come up with the baby safety product. And end of last year, we have come out with a brand called Komiu. baby from 3 to 24 months, baby can be used because this is the time that they will easily get hurt by playing around. So we also have gotten these acquire patents, marks, and also the design rights by investing in continuous technology development. So women and men, young and old, everyone can use our product. So we are targeting to target all the age range. So we have very low birth rate in South Korea. However, the market of this baby product is increasing. You can see this is our product. I have actually brought our product in this seminar. I will show you. This product is we have selected as a good design award last year. And also gotten as a Denmark IFD design. And other products are designed and produced but not available in the Korean market. So this is the commute, how it looks like. So we have gotten the patent for this product as a symmetrical Y-shaped structure. So it safely protects the baby's baby head. And also to prevent from baby getting hurt when they fall down. And also it is very fashionable, but not only that, it is very much targeted in the functionality. So a lot of consumers love our design. And last year we have launched our product. So we just started our product by selling through online platform. And now we are targeting to enter into the overseas market by exporting to internationally. And even today I'm here that I can target to expand to the overseas market. So we are a brand in initial stage. So I believe we have to get ready to expand our market to internationally by participating into the exhibition and also the Korea. So by 2022, I'll be targeting more, and that's all of my presentation today. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your presentation round. For the baby helmet, I used Agad, the right one, but it was like years ago. So I hope this opportunity can bring you some opportunity to enter the Southeast Asia market, because the birth rate is higher here than Korea. And our third presenters are from Malaysia. So Eko Sentinos Andrian Bohat and Kenny Low. So first, please welcome Eko Sentinos Andrea Bohat with a big round of applause to the stage.
Okay. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm going to share with you about creating materials from circular economy perspective. So it's going to be a brief background about us, and then the circular economy perspective. Then I'll share a few cases in Malaysia. Yeah. I'm Suting. I'm from Nets Printwork as well as Sentido, and my involvements in that's related to eco design also started with joining as the standard products committees in upcycling together with Serum in Malaysia, and I'm also the industry advisory panels of a few college or universities in Malaysia. Right. So we have organized some eco-design related talks, forums, and workshops before, inviting speakers from overseas. And about Sentido, this is a company that offering training consultancies as well as sustainability reportings and carbon assessments related to sustainability in Malaysia. So now back to the topic about circular economy. I noticed some of our speakers previously already touched on this, but I choose this as definitions that I think is easier to relate to. So it's a model of productions and consumptions that aims to increase the life cycle of products. So there's three main principles. First is to eliminate the waste and pollution. Second is to circulate products and materials. And third is to regenerate nature. So why we are doing this and concentrate or focusing on circular economy is because the global population is growing and we are still consuming and we have lack of resources. And a lot of companies or countries are actually relying on other countries for raw materials. So they need to import, and that contributes to carbon emissions. And in Malaysia, we are still spending about 1.9 billion ringgit Malaysia a year on the management of our solid waste and public cleansing. So we also have the issues of no longer have any land left for the landfill management. Hence, circular economy actually give us a good opportunities, and it will benefit us to help to solve the environment as well as the supply chain issue. And it also will boost the economic growth and at the same time help to stimulate innovations in the country. And some of the examples I'm going to share here, this is Nest Eco is an eco-printing company that look into the life cycle of printed materials, and is only one that offering the Serum Eco label and carbon footprint label in Malaysia. And they're also taking care of the waste in the factory. And one of the waste that they have is actually the aluminum plate from the printing industry. So what they can do now is to turn the aluminum plates into certificates that can be used for their internal events as well as for their clients' events. The other company, they are actually turning the waste of our oil palm leaf into tea. And from their input is they actually have the antioxidants of this tea actually is higher than the green tea. And this is the new materials that we are working on, is actually from the cardboard waste. And the whole production process actually is less water and energy consumptions. It's a simpler production methods, and it's non-chemical based. And we are using the plant-based type of binder. So these are some of the lifestyle products that we're able to produce from these products, from these materials. So we would like to increase the circular economy adoption rate in Malaysia, as well as in the companies and organizations. And our suggestions to all of us here, as well as especially to our MRM, is to jointly develop a certified circular designer standard in Malaysia, as well as to develop an Asian material library. And I hope with the innovations that we've seen over here, we can make it possible. Oops, thank you.
Thank you for your presentation about the waste management in terms of circular economy. Our next presenter from Malaysia will be the Couture. So please welcome him to the stage.
Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kenny Low. I'm from Penang, Malaysia. And yeah, a little bit story about myself. Just now we talked about all the sustainability technologies, and now we are into the cultural segment. I involved in the cultural segment For your info, previously I was a nutritionist after I graduated from my master for 10 years, and now I'm in the fashion industry. And then not just the fashion industry, but the heritage industry. And then there are many people asking me why I'm in this industry. Actually, I'm from Baba Nonya families. My mom is a Nonya, my dad is a Baba. And then, of course, I just have 5 minutes. I can't tell you what is the Baba Nonya culture, but please Google. This is one of the Malaysia and Singapore identity, right? So I'm working on it, especially on the craft. And the main purpose is not just to continue the legacy of our own culture, but also for the humanity. Okay, next. Oh, sorry, I forgot. I need to do it myself. Okay, this is me before and after. And then these are the collaborators and also my partners. And then Couture just started since 2017, and then we are celebrating 6th-year anniversary this year. And then we are, I feel that I'm fortunate I can collaborate with these big companies. And then for your information, I just back from 2 events organized by UNESCO, and hope that we can promote Malaysia culture to the rest of the world, but not just the culture, but also the fashion to the rest of the world. I do believe that there are many purchaser, customer out there, they not really know the existing of our Baba Nonya craft and the Baba Nonya culture, especially the fashion. Of course, I won the Malaysia Good Design Award 2021 for my beaded shoes. Yes, I produce shoes too. And then recently, there are 2 kabayas. There's kabaya tops that you can see. Yesterday, you received a goodie bag from the Malaysia Goodies from MRM. Right? Inside there is a booklet, and then you open up on the page of 30 and 31. That's my products. So means that I won 2 awards for last year. And then I really feel proud that we can include our traditional or heritage products in Malaysia Good Design Awards. Yeah. And yeah, I also collaborate with the Fireflies, and it needs to be very fast. And then Malaysia Airlines too is where we produce a limited edition Nonya beaded shoes. Is where we are using their uniform to wrap the shoes as the sole. And these are the shoes, and these are limited. And then in this whole world, and the whole world is just only 72 pairs. And then, yep, this is a project that I need to really fast. I only have 1 minute. Okay, these are the programs. And of course, I just press whatever, you just see, yeah. And then if you need the slide, you just let me know. I can send you the slides, and then it's on everything, it's on there. And then what I can say that I'm not just, okay, I need to stop here. I'm not just producing Nonya Kabaya traditional ones. That will be the blue one with the pink skirts. That's our traditional Nonya wears. It's where it's a totally 100% handcrafted embroidery on the top. Right? Later on, I do bring the products too. Later on, please, during the B2B, please come over to my counter, and then you can have a look on our products. Of course, from there, I also turn in my fashion, the traditional heritage fashion, into the modern fashion. Is where you can see all the long flat pants, yeah, and then sleeveless kabaya is out there. Actually, the main thing is to encourage more youngsters to continue the legacy. Is where the Baba Nonya culture actually is some kind like a forgotten culture in Malaysia. And of course, our kabaya, you can see less and less people wearing kabaya compared to the previous time. And then this is a new products that I already, because of UNESCO projects, say I come up with this design is where I'm using the Georgetown World Heritage shop houses tiles to use as the panel for my shoes. And then this is not the product I'm going to for Malaysia Good Design Award this year, not this one, but it's the next one. Because the beaded shoes is just only meant for women, and then I need more market that can be purchased by everyone. So I producing the mini frame mini beaded shoes as a premium souvenirs. Of course, this is more about our Baba Nonya culture. And then what I can say that when you look at the products that I have actually is meant for representing ASEAN. And then the second thing is that this product is not exists yet, and then we are trying to enter, bringing this culture, bringing this fashion to international platform like New York Fashion Week, Milan Fashion Week, and then no one of us done it yet, and then hopefully our product will be in the market, especially the international platform, so that we can introduce to the rest of the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your presentation. Yeah, we need people working for the new technology, but at the same time for the tradition with the legacy. So that's what we call diversity, right? And our next presenter are from Philippines. So the first, Ananas, Anam Philippines Incorporation, and then next, Oro Handmade Innovations. So firstly, Ananas Anam Philippines Incorporation will give a presentation. So please welcome with a big round of applause.
Good afternoon, everyone. So it is my pleasure to be here with you today, most especially after hearing those presentations earlier, which are really insightful and very timely. So thank you so much for having me here today. I am Cathy Cabrera, by the way, and I am the General Manager of our company, Ananas Anam Philippines, Inc., which would be the main topic throughout my presentation. But before I proceed to what our company do and our advocacy not only into environmental sustainability, but also on the social impact, let me tell you first the meaning of the word Ananas Anam. Yeah. So ananas, as some of you may already know, is derived from the scientific name of pineapple, which is Ananas comossus, while Anam is an Irish word which means soul. So combining these two words, it would literally mean the pineapple soul. But for us in the company, it is our reminder that in everything we do, we should always put our heart and our soul. One of our company core values is that we believe that we are made to become the stewards of the earth and that we are responsible in doing business, which is right for the people, planet, and profit. Now, let me tell you briefly how our company and our product was developed. When our founder, Dr. Carmen Hiosa, went to the Philippines to do her research with the Design Center of the Philippines, she was inspired by how abundant the natural fibers are in our country. And us, the Filipinos, has always been using the pineapple leaf fibers in our traditional clothing, like the Barong Tagalog and Saya, which is I'm wearing today. This gave her the inspiration in doing our product, the Piñatex, which is a natural product or natural textile made from pineapple leaves fiber, or what the world also call as the vegan leather. And for her, most especially during our times, sustainability is not enough. We should think beyond it and expand our vision. The new threshold is to reach for a regenerative thinking, and we should always have a strong defense for the natural world. And as pioneers of this natural product, we aim to make our product with less environmental impact, but with high social responsibility, which we believe is the better choice for the better future. Allow me to share with you also that our product is vegan certified and PETA approved. And our company is a certified B Corporation, which are a group of companies which focuses not only into environmental sustainability, but also on the social impact that it could give to the society. Our product, the Piñatex, is inspired by the principle of a circular economy and cradle-to-cradle values, which means that we aim to make our product with zero waste while reconnecting human with Mother Earth. And of course, we cannot make this beautiful product without the help of our partners, specifically those in the farm areas. They are the heart of what we do. They supply the fibers that we use for our product, the Piñatex and Piña yarn. I remember when we started doing this, we can only receive an average of 500 kilos of fibers per month. And with this quantity, we really cannot do anything. So what we did is we empowered them and provided them the technology and trained them so they could start the fiber production in their area. This project has generated more than 600 jobs and helped the communities to have more income. And now, with this project, they can now produce an average of 10 tons of fibers per month. And it is true that when you help others, it will eventually come back to you, and helping will eventually turn out being good for you. And lastly, allow me to quote what our CEO, Mr. Chuck Lazaro, said. "The earth is our home and shelter. Its natural beauty reproduces, regenerates, and preserves itself for the next generation. Clearly, our planet and all living creatures need to coexist with mankind. If man protects the earth, man will benefit from the earth's resources and treasures." Thank you.
Thank you, Ananas, Anam, Philippines, for your presentation utilizing pineapple fiber. And our next presenter from Philippines will be the Oro Handmade Innovations. So please come to the stage and please begin your presentation when you are ready. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Nicole Cabanlet, the Creative Director of Oro Handmade Innovations Incorporated from the Philippines. I am here to talk about, our story, our brand, the raw materials we're using, our product line, about Piñapel, how we adopt circular design, and the company's future directions. Oh, this is so fast. We started as a single proprietorship in the year 1993 and began exporting in the year 1998, where we collaborated with indigenous peoples to supply us with our raw materials such as cogon grass, abaca fibers, banana fibers, bamboos, and buristics. Today, we manufacture and export quality and sustainable handmade paper products to USA and Europe. Here are some photos of our items made from abaca fibers and piña fiber. Under the brand Indigenous. What is Indigenous? Indigenous is all about tracing our roots, celebrating our culture, arts, and graphics, while preserving and protecting nature. And our design direction, or design aesthetic, is deeply rooted in indigenous graphics and arts, and getting inspiration from nature. Here are more examples of our items, ranging from lamps, stationery, packaging, and home accents as our product lines. What is Piñapel, or pineapple paper, is made from the discarded pineapple leaves, which we manufacture and turn them into different products using the formulation by the Design Center of the Philippines. It is tree-free, plastic-free, plant-based, compostable, and biodegradable. Piñapel is reinforced, print viable. Piñapel is food grade and free from heavy metals, which is good for packaging, lamps, and even storage. It is an alternative to plastic, especially the staggering amount or volume of plastic waste worldwide, which are polluting our lands and seas. and it has won the prestigious D&AD Wood Pencil Award on the year 2019 under the category Future Impact in Environment and Sustainability. Our company adopts the circular design with Design Center of the Philippines' quadruple bottom line approach to circular design with malasakit or concern and compassion for people and planet as its core. The company's future direction is to scale up the piñapel production, to make it industrially viable, and to supply the global demand for biodegradable and compostable packaging for food and non-food. We believe that we can achieve these goals, especially with the strong support from both government and private sectors. In behalf of Oro Handmade Innovations, I thank you for this opportunity to share our journey, and also we thank Design Center of the Philippines their support of this program or project, and to ASEAN-Korean Center, Korea Institute and Design Promotion, Malaysia Design Council, and the Office of Malacca State Secretary for organizing this event. Thank you so much. Dagang salamat.
Thank you for your presentation. Now South Korea actually have many troubles with the disposal products these days. So maybe your insightful product can also have that work with them. And next, we would like to invite our last presenter from Singapore. So Stock will give a presentation. So please welcome him with a big hand.
Right, good afternoon. I know we are running a little bit late, and the only thing standing between you and lunch is me. So I'll try to make this as short as possible and hopefully helpful. First of all, thank you for having me here. It's a privilege to be here to share with you what we think the state of design is as a design agency. Right, so my name is Jie Yu. I'm from Singapore. I run the design agency, and what that means is we offer design as a service. We've been around for 14 years now, and we serve clients ranging from startups, which are young companies launching their first products, to very established multinational companies such as Samsung, Dell, BMW, Unilever, Johnson & Johnson. And we also do serve government agencies who wants to design better experiences for people. So as a design agency, we see design in two stages or two parts. One is the outcome, which are the design solutions that answers to people's needs or better people's lives, such as shoes that improves the lives of shoemakers, recycled materials, as well as innovation products that makes life better, even sauce squeezers, right? So that's the outcome side of it. On the other side of design, we see design as a process. So we use technology that are emerging, or we have been trained with skill sets to deliver design through a process, both from a skills perspective, as well as collaboration. How do you work the process of collaborating on design outcome, and emerging technologies that will shape how you do design. And just to prove it, right, this is my good friend, ChatGPT, if you know. It's an AI-driven language processing software. And this is what can you describe Stark Design in 50 words, and this is given by him. I do most of my presentation with AI now, so I don't have to write. And this is an internal tool that we built. It's a sketching app. So we have about 20 over designers, and we do a lot of sketching and ideation and so on and so forth. So we developed an internal tool called HyperSketch, which is really quick to sketch, like in Post-its. And then we can collaborate it through Murals, Figma. And right now we are building a module to add in an AI component. So we're always looking at how do we use new technology to shape the design processes as well. So this used to take maybe a designer a few days, a few hours to get to that sketch, which is done in maybe 10 seconds, to the end of a kind of like 2D rendered, just a visualization of a product. And this took us less than 1 minute. So with this tool, what we're doing is that we sketch something and we input prompts, and AI generates a couple of different outcomes, and we could shape those outcomes. And this is something that we're using internally. Now, so the question comes to us, right? Are we destroying our own livelihood by training a computer to do what we do? So we ask the question, what can AI do? What can we do as designers or people when AI can do so much for us? And this is only just the beginning because they are growing so rapidly, exponentially. And I think as design, we are always looking at meaningful solutions. So hopefully in these 2 case studies that I'm going to share with you, it's going to share a little bit of insight on how do we approach AI. We embrace it. So we do not reject AI from a company perspective. In fact, we use it. But what we tell our designers and ourselves as well to always remember what is human and meaningful to create. So in this case, it's an example of a drip stand. So if you've been to a hospital, there's a metal structure that puts all your devices here to measure all your vitals, oxygen level, heart rate, so on and so forth. And a hospital came to us, and they said, we want to redesign this thing because it takes us very long to just set it up or change it out. And the patients do not want to walk around with it. So the question that we asked was not so much to make something that is more efficient to make. It's not to make something that looks beautiful, but it is to make something that people want to use it more and quickly so that it benefits them from a medical perspective. So the real innovation came out when we realized the nurses were trying to put or change out these things, and they had to aim with this heavy equipment on top, trying to aim the little hole to put it in. And it's not a very high-tech solution. We just made a funnel. We just made the hole really big that you can't miss it. And surprisingly, it reduces preparation time by 40%. And the interesting human outcome to this so-called innovation is that patients wanted to walk more. They didn't feel bad asking the nurse to help them change out so that they could walk around. So by not feeling bad, they were encouraged to walk more, and this aids in their recovery physically. Now, this is the next project that was commissioned by a government kind of ministry. It's the Ministry of Health Holdings in Singapore. So they govern all the hospitals and medical care policies and so on and so forth. They got, interestingly, they didn't get an architect to do the design first. They got a consultancy, which is us, to do a design research consultancy, and we paired up with an architect before the building was designed. So they had a pre-phase of design thinking research to ask the question, what should a nursing home be? So if you know, nursing home is a medical hospital-like setting where the elderly is unable to take care of herself or himself, be it because of chronic diseases like dementia, or because they have lost their ability to function in terms of eating, dressing, and so on and so forth. Now, they had always seen it as a hospital or a medical setting. So you would see medical devices, people in uniforms, a bunk bed of 6 to 12, and this research, where we went down to talk to a lot of people, both stakeholders, operators, caregivers, and patients and elderly, to find out, and this was the one that drove home and started the whole design differently, was that the longest time an elderly resident stay in a nursing home is 27 years. It is not a hospital. It is essentially your home, and to many, it is their final home. So this starting point immediately shifted the ministry's thinking about designing a nursing home that is efficient, institutionalized, and as well as looking like a hospital, to something that is about home-like. And that is what I mean when design anchoring back on human fundamentals and meaningful conversations. It no longer goes into how do you do it? How do I do it faster with AI? How do I do it better with AI? Or how do I do it more efficient? But it poses the right up front, what question should you ask? Are you designing a home or are you designing a hospital? So this shaped the entire design of the nursing home. It's being built right now. It's much more person-centered, and it's designed for people to customize it like their homes. So this is my last slide. before lunch. And I just want to highlight that the future of design for us is exciting. There's a lot of new tools and technology that's coming out that will help in the design process, as well as the design delivery. But at the same time, I think it's equally important to drive home the message that design education is not just about tools and skill sets. And as what Jax mentioned earlier on about lovability, right? What can the designer ask in terms of questioning, not so much giving solutions, that creates a more meaningful and more human-centered design outcome? Yeah, so with that, I'd like to end my presentation. Thank you, and enjoy lunch. Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation, Stock, elaborating role and mindset of design and designers in AI environment. Okay, so now this calls for the end of the seminar on advancing design industry for creative economy community in ASEAN and Korea. Thank you everyone for your valuable time by joining us today, and we hope all participants gained insightful information from both public and business sector. Before you leave, please, it would be very appreciated if you fill out the survey on top of your table and then leave it on the table. And also please note that there will be networking luncheon, which is prepared in the ballroom A, right next to this room, and our lunch break will end at 2 p.m. So please join us again here in the same room at 2 p.m. for the B2B meeting. So please enjoy your lunch. Thank you.